player.
1-2 pitch, and he lines one into right. Coming in is Churio, diving. Did he make the catch? He sure did! Jackson Churio!
The Brewers clash with the Giants tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. This series is sponsored by the Hot House Tavern, Left's Lucky Town, and Revere's Wells Street Tavern. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, June 1st. Your top story, investigating after a school threat in Kenosha.
I'm Jessica Ty. A delay in the trial for the man accused of abducting a teenager.
Becoming partly cloudy today, 77 near high, inland, 68 near the lake. Clear tonight at a low of 51. 72 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a school threat is under investigation in Kenosha County.
Authorities say there is no credible threat at Wilmot Union High School after a concerning voicemail prompted an investigation Monday morning. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Office says the message came from an out-of-state phone number and referenced a potential threat involving the school. School administrators immediately contacted law enforcement, and investigators determined there was no evidence of an immediate danger to students or staff. As a precaution, additional deputies were assigned to the campus. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The federal trial for a man accused of abducting a pregnant teenager from Beaver Dam is delayed again.
Gary Day was moved to the Greene County Detention Center in Arkansas on Thursday, where he was set to begin trial tomorrow. That trial is now rescheduled for August 4th, and a federal judge added an opportunity for Day to change his plea in July. The 40-year-old from Arkansas faces 6 federal charges related to having sex with a minor and child pornography after the disappearance of 16-year-old Sophia Franklin triggered a multi-state Amber Alert. Day also faces state charges in Wisconsin. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A Utah judge will decide whether to seal key evidence and bar the public from upcoming hearings for Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. While the defense argues media coverage ruins a fair trial, prosecutors are fighting to keep the hearings fully open. News Nation's Brian Enton.
Robinson's lawyers want the media kept out of that part of the hearing, arguing that the media coverage has been unfair and will make it harder for Robinson to get a fair jury when he eventually goes to trial, if he eventually goes to trial. But prosecutors are fighting to keep the hearing open. Among the evidence we plan to see includes a note Robinson wrote for his romantic partner, where he allegedly said, "I had the chance to take out Charlie Kirk, and I am going to take it."
Kirk's widow is also demanding the hearings be open.
A lawsuit challenging Wisconsin's congressional maps is headed to the state Supreme Court.
The case argues the current district boundaries unfairly protect incumbents and reduce competition in elections. The court will review a lower court decision that threw out the lawsuit, citing earlier rulings that partisan gerrymandering claims cannot be heard in Wisconsin courts. The justices declined to request to speed up the case ahead of the 2028 election cycle. Wisconsin's current congressional map has produced a 6-2 Republican majority in the state's U.S. House delegation. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And if you're planning to hit Wisconsin's ATV and UTV trails this summer, it's got some new rules going into effect today. All UTV drivers and passengers must wear seatbelts. The DNR also says riders can face tougher penalties for intentionally damaging property, and operators can no longer tow people behind ATVs or UTVs on trails. New window tint restrictions also in place. Conservation wardens are reminding riders to wear helmets, buckle up, and never ride impaired. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Taking a look at the indices here. The Dow is off about 150 points today at 50,884. NASDAQ up about 100 at 27,070. And the S&P is up about 12 at 7592. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the ever more engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Astros in Houston, the Brewers are home. They begin a 4-game series with the Giants tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. An incredible month of May for Brewers starting pitcher Jacob Mizorowski.
I haven't looked at all the numbers and such, so I couldn't tell you exactly what I did. But it felt good. It felt like a pretty decent month.
And we'll tell you what you did. In May, Miz struck out 57 batters, posting an ERA of .23. In baseball, the Panthers of Milwaukee 1 win away from advancing to the Super Regional of the NCAA Men's Baseball Tournament.
A little flare out of center field, but out goes the second baseman onto the grass. Bozak makes the catch. And for the first time in school history, Milwaukee is headed to the regional final.
This Milwaukee team is legit and have caught fire at the right time.
Panthers beat Auburn and Central Florida in consecutive days. They'll face Auburn again tonight at 5 o'clock with the winner advancing to the Super Regional. And in the NBA Finals Best of 7 series begins Wednesday night in San Antonio with the Spurs hosting the New York Knicks.
Checking out the roads on this Monday afternoon with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I like what I'm seeing. No crashes to report. And even in our construction zones, just a little bit of slowing. It's yellow, not red, and there's not much of it. I am seeing a little bit of slowing on 94 East right after American Family Field, heading into the city. 94 West headed out of the city around American Family Field. That is looking good. No delays right now. And just a few very, very slow delays, very short delays, I should say, on 41, 45 in the Butler area and Mayfair area. We'll let you know if that changes.
Traffic is sponsored by Capri Communities. Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium. Visit EnjoyLifeSymposium.com. Live life to the fullest at Capri's Enjoy Life Symposium on Wednesday, June 10th. This free event for older adults includes speakers, exhibitors, activities, and more. Register today at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Overall, pretty nice day today. Partly cloudy, high 77, 67 near the lake. Clear tonight and a low of 51. Mostly sunny on Tuesday, 78 inland, 68 near the lake. A little warmer on Wednesday with a high of 83, 75 near Lake Michigan. Next chance of rain looks to be perhaps on Thursday and Friday. High of 87 on Thursday, 82 with a chance of showers on Friday. 72 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, you made it. June. Felt like a long May, but here we are, June 1st, and my kids are counting down the days until school ends. Like Dad, and they've got a little tote board. They peel a ring off the thing.
Oh, they're going all in.
Very excited about this. June does start to feel like summer's truly here. Took a while to get to June, but here we are.
And it's just going to fly by. July will be here, and before you know it, summer will be over. But let's enjoy it in the meantime.
Absolutely. Slow it down here. It's 12:09.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
We start at noon with inside perspective of the Hijack scare that prompted a plane to divert to Madison over the weekend. A 75-year-old passenger on a United flight from Chicago to Minneapolis tried to repeatedly breach the cockpit. Investigators now say that man was having a mental health crisis. A local pilot who works with one of our country's major airlines tells Wisconsin's Midday News he was very surprised to hear the initial report was labeled a potential hijacker.
Standard language in layman's terms, that would define someone attempting to breach the cockpit. However, that is a very, very rapid escalation, really to the very top tier level that a situation like this could escalate. So unless we actually have someone taking over control or attempting to take control of the aircraft itself, that is a very dangerous and very powerful word to use that you will want to avoid at all costs unless that accurately describes the situation that you have at hand.
Coming up at 2:37, learn about decisions that must be made in moments like this, how much passengers need to know, and the local pilot's concerns about real hijackers 25 years after 9/11.
Number 2, ExxonMobil warning that oil inventories will fall to record low levels in the coming weeks, forcing prices to spike and curbing demand. Gas prices in Wisconsin have dipped below $4 per gallon in several areas of southeast Wisconsin, but the conflict in Iran is entering its 14th week, and there's no clear end in sight.
Gas is up more than $1.30 since the war began. There's a new analysis from Moody's that says that the average American household is now paying $450 more in gas and energy since the war started. So the economic pain of this is real.
That's ABC's Mary Bruce. Inventories are depleting. ExxonMobil sees the price of a barrel of Brent crude trending upwards. Forecasters believe the cost per barrel could spike between $150 and $160. Right now, it's right around the $90 mark, kind of fluctuating. But the other entity looking at this are school districts with their busing and transportation. Like, these budgets are being blown out of the water right now. We'll dive into that with the MMAC coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, those prices add up quickly. Well, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York is out with new data about the state of remote work.
The New York Fed now says the unemployment rate among recent college graduates in remotable industries like software development is up marginally since the pandemic, about 1%. Meanwhile, for people over the age of 29 in those industries, the jobless rate is actually down slightly. Experts say that indicates employers may be more reluctant to hire younger generations for jobs that can be done remotely. In non-remotable industries like nursing, there's no notable difference between age groups. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
It's 12:12 on WTMJ. Just getting started here. Wisconsin's Midday News on a Monday.
Is your life stuck in constant stress mode? Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, my team that can help, not just mask symptoms, but find the root cause. Connect Chiro specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care, helping your nervous system function the way it's designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. Helping our community live healthier, more energized lives. Go ConnectChiro.com.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. We had a great weekend, and Palermo's was in the oven and on the table for lunch as we were bopping around all weekend long. It was a primo thin for us. Could be that for you. Or Connie's. Maybe an urban pie. Screamin' Sicilian is also delicious. In fact, it's my personal favorite. But primo thin, awfully good. Made by Palermo's. They got a slice for every appetite. And made right here in Wisconsin. So not only are you eating great, but you are supporting local. You love that when you're buying Palermo's. And right now, through the 2nd of June at Sendik's, you can cash in and stock up. Save on a great deal for Connie's wood-fired pizza, $5.99 at Sendik's until June 2nd. Through June 2nd, we'll say. Exceptional quality, great value. Connie's at Sendik's for $5.99 through the 2nd of June. Made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun, extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $450 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com to learn more.
People hear Horicon Bank and they think local instantaneously.
Over the years, was able to help them in their later years when they needed some care. So I would say that was cradle to grave experience for me.
We encounter precious moments like this all the time. We have a trust administration department that can help.
Our motto is together as a bank and as an organization, and then doing good.
There's amazing success stories of small business entrepreneurs who now are multi-million-dollar companies.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC. Oh, beautiful stretch of weather. No real rain in the forecast. Nothing of significance anyway till maybe late in the week, like a Thursday, Friday sort of thing. So we top out in the mid-70s inland today, high 60s closer to the lake. Similar situation tomorrow, 78 the high inland, 68 near the lake. Could see 80s here by midweek. And again, opportunity for rain, more meaningful opportunity later in the week. So it might be a few days before that lawn gets what it needs. It's 72 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:15. And our Economic Spotlight is sponsored by Horicon Bank. Together, doing good. HoriconBank.com. Truly the natural choice and member FDIC. Connecting in place of Tim Sheehy with Ryan Amundsen of the MMAC joining us in studio. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. So we talked about gas prices in our previous segment. Everybody's just noticing this, right? And now that gas prices have dipped below 4, it feels like you're going the right direction.
Sure.
Maybe not the case. We'll see how long this war drags out.
Right.
But school districts are also paying close attention to this because all of a sudden their transportation budget is getting blown out of the water at a time where, specifically here at MPS, they're facing a big budget deficit as it is.
Yeah, it's not just hitting your pocketbook, my pocketbook, business pocketbook. It's hitting school districts, too. They have to transport students. MPS reported they spent an additional almost $150,000 in March due to gas price increases.
Wow. Just March?
Just March.
Wow.
And that increased in April to $250,000. So, I mean, where margins are thin with school budgets, I mean, we're talking $250,000 in a district that has, billions of dollars in budget. So we're talking in relative terms here. But at the same time, with the margins that they have, every dollar counts. And this puts a little pressure on them for sure.
So what is MPS looking at doing because of this?
Yeah, so they're looking at, minimizing the number of buses that they're using, using public transit, alternative vehicles, and then they actually have their first delivery of electric vehicles this summer coming in. So they're coming up with some solutions for this. But yeah, again, the margins are so thin. The prices of gas are so high, it's going to hurt.
I do wonder how it affects a school district's decision-making, not only MPS, but even out in Waukesha County or Washington County. If you have busing available for every student in your district, 4K through 12, do you have to make adjustments to that? Do you have to find efficiencies where maybe younger students, 4K kindergarten, are on the same bus as your middle schoolers and things like that?
Right. Now, at what point does it go to the chopping block too? I live in Wauwatosa, and we don't have busing for our students there. Everybody walks or gets rides. So at some point, they're going to have to take a deep look at that.
We talk about MPS, Milwaukee Public School District, a lot because it is the state's largest school district, but we have fans listening who have kids in other districts as well. What about, say, Waukesha? Yeah. How is this impacting them?
It's happening everywhere, and it's not happening at the same levels at smaller districts. I mean, they're getting hit too. I think they saw an increase of over $1,000 in April for their fuel costs. So it's going up everywhere.
Ryan Amundsen joining us in studio here on Wisconsin's Midday News. How does public art impact regional tourism? Kind of an interesting story here, looking into where you live in Wauwatosa.
In full disclosure, this is my neighborhood.
Fair enough.
It is. Yeah. You actually live in the neighborhood.
I live in that neighborhood, and I can say that park and the public art that is kind of the feature of that park has improved our neighborhood.
Mama Rosa, we're talking about, the big troll.
The park itself is gorgeous. And it's pulled in a lot of visitors, not just local. We're talking about people from all over the country that have come in. Discover Wauwatosa reported that they had 192,000 visits to that park between June of 25 and March of 26. 122,000 of those visits were from outside of the zip code. And I can attest to that because I've seen the parking around it, and they've managed it well. It's never overcrowded over there. And they do some really great stuff at that park. On Friday nights, there's music, There is they'll have food trucks out there. A lot of activity over there. It's a sleepier neighborhood. It's cul-de-sacs and lots of trees, but it's brought a level of vibrancy to the neighborhood that we really love. These trolls are showing up. I think I believe I saw that 4 million people across 20 countries have visited these trolls. So it has a following. They're on Facebook pages and stuff, and they're looking to build one in Mount Pleasant now.
We talked with the artist, Thomas Dambo, as he had just flown in and he was putting the final touches on Mama Rosa. He's a fascinating man, and he did talk about how people all around the world go. Sometimes they'll plan their trip around going to find one of these trolls. Now the exciting news is not only is Tosa celebrating their troll and about a year in at this point, but it looks like we have another community, Mount Pleasant, that wants to add a troll. So I've also thought Door County would be a fabulous spot for this.
Yeah.
It seems like this is just an awesome point, not only for people here in Wisconsin to enjoy, but for people from all over to come and bring tourism dollars to our state.
They're very interesting. They're visually stunning, honestly, and they use all recycled products. In Wauwatosa, they took old lampposts that he found, and those are part of the display. They're actually throughout the park too, so they've really centered that sculpture as they made that park with that as the focal point for sure.
It is really interesting. The first Thomas Dambo troll I saw was in Breckenridge, Colorado. So we had a summer trip planned out there, and like anything, we have kids. We're looking for kid-friendly things to do. What do you do? And right there through the hotel and their concierge, they presented us with a bunch of ideas and horseback riding and cool stuff and zip lines. And it was hiked to the Thomas Dambo Troll. And there was a name for it, and I forget what the name was. But it was about a mile walk through a nice, beautiful trail that led you to this massive troll. Right. My kids are fascinated with it. So it becomes not only a feature of your area, but it's like it goes to the to-do list, things to do with families, or even if not, just to go to check it out. But it was a fascinating first discovery of what his work is.
Well, and with the following that they have, these people that are coming in from outside of Wauwatosa zip codes, they're going to be spending money at the restaurants. They're going to be walking our parks. They're going to be spending money at the retail shops throughout Wauwatosa. So it is a good moneymaker for the entire community.
So since you live in the area, how often are you actually walking to check out Mama Rosa, the troll?
Sure.
And did you see when bees were like in the ear trying to build hives?
I took a walk over there. It's a gorgeous park, and the walkway through it is beautiful. It's a little different. It's very curvy. I did see the bees there last year. I'm probably there at least once a week. I'll take a walk through there. Friday nights, again, are great. They have the food trucks. They've got the live music. It's a lot of fun.
Ryan Abinson joining us in studio. For those who have children right in the sweet spot ages of, maybe 7 to 14, maybe even 15. You know this. Youth sports is a big business. There's no doubt about that. Look at the fees, the uniform costs, the tournaments, the travel, all that kind of stuff really adds up. But there is another side to this, Ryan, that I think is interesting and hopefully not damaging. But the Let Kids Play Act is actually looking to ban private equity companies from investing in youth sports to run these leagues and facilities and events. To say it's a cottage industry isn't strong enough. I mean, there's mega $1 million to be made here in the world of youth sports, and the hope, perhaps, is that private equity doesn't get their hands on it.
It's not millions, it's billions. We're talking about a $40 billion a year industry here in the United States. Was reading a study out of New Jersey, and it was an investigative piece. They used a lot of national figures. But this is true anywhere across the United States. We've seen youth sports rise in cost 46%. In the same story, since 2019, in the same story, they were interviewing people that would spend $20,000 a year for these kids to play in these sports. And it's becoming haves and have-nots, which I'm not one to pine for the olden days, but in this case, I might be. Kids are specializing in one sport because they have to if they want to get ahead. I looked at some figures today, and I don't want to connect A to B necessarily, but was looking at high school basketball, MPS in particular, and I looked at from 2000 to 2016, the state tournament. 20 schools were represented at that state tournament. From 2017 to 2026, 4. Again, I don't know if it's a connection, but again, it's become haves and have-nots, and we know that MPS families aren't as financially well off as a lot of other districts in the state. And I wonder if we're overlooking a lot of those kids too, right?
So this particular report that you were mentioning, it says that more than 2/3 of kids will quit sports altogether by the time they turn 13.
Yeah.
So what does it mean for communities when you have 2/3 of kids quitting sports by that age?
Well, it's not good for the kids. Obviously, you want to keep them physically fit, and sports are obviously something that are going to help that out too. I dove deeper into that too. Those are figures according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the 4 reasons that parents are giving for that are 1, increased competitiveness, 2, time demands. It is every night.
Yeah.
3, cost, and we talked about cost already. There's people spending tens of thousands of dollars on their kids that are participating in these club sports. And 4, early specialization. You have to play, if you want to play at the high school level, if you want to make varsity, you're going to have to start at 6, 7, 8 years old and make a decision at that point if you want to play other sports. I mean, I have children that play both soccer and baseball, and I've had basketball in my house too. It makes it really, really hard to be successful when you get to high school if you're not specializing. And I think it's a good idea for kids to play different sports.
And the other our area of it is when I was growing up, baseball was 13 games, 3 got rained out, and that was your season.
Yeah, no, and I'm a baseball coach.
Somewhere in between there would be nice.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I'm a baseball coach. I coach my son's 7th grade team. And this year we're playing about 30, but there are teams that play 60 to 70 to 80 games a summer. And it provides no time for parents to do anything but focus on those sports.
It also provides very little practice time, which is also critical at a younger age.
And you were just talking the other day, what was it, one of the girls' soccer games, was it for a tournament started like 6 or 6:30? I said, that's too early.
Yeah, there's been some early start times in certain tournaments. You're getting on the road at 6 sometimes to get to a place by 7. You got to be there half hour before the game and all that kind of stuff.
I was at one at 8 a.m. in Sheboygan coming from Wauwatosa on Saturday. 6 a.m. is, I've never had a 6 a.m. game.
That was the call. 6:30. I think
that was the get on the road
time.
Yeah,
7 o'clock.
That's still early for kids.
That's early.
And mom and dad.
Right.
Ryan Amundsen, we always appreciate your time, Ryan. Thanks,
Ryan.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
12:26 on WTMJ. Coming up after the 12:30 news, we are going to go to Alabama, where Sean Wegner is ready to lead the Milwaukee Panthers on the field against Auburn later tonight. They got some nasty weather in the area. Hopefully they can get that in. But history perhaps in the making for the Milwaukee Panthers baseball team. We'll dive into it in a few.
Attention, Merle girls. Your summer gift with purchase is available now at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios. Shop the new Mediterranean-inspired shades of our Italian summer collection and the latest skincare to qualify. Your gift features trial sizes facial cleansing wipes, foundation primer plus, lasting cheek color, and plush lip liner. Available now while supplies last at Merle Norman Salon, Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last or participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
Hey, this month in June, become a champion at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Join Bernie Brewer on his exciting $300,000 journey where you could end up scoring some big-time prizes. Play now through the 25th of June with thousands in cash and reward play up for grabs. And all your Bernie's Journey entries go into the Big League Series and Grand Finale drawings. That'll be June 26th. This is at Potawatomi, only at Potawatomi. More info online, must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play.
Father's Day is coming up, and let's be honest, Dad doesn't need another tie. Give him something he actually wants. New windows that lower energy bills, a durable new roof, beautiful siding, or a bath remodel he can brag about to every guest who visits. And during the Exterior Pros and Baths June savings event, you'll get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings, but only for a limited time. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's Miraculous No Small Print Warranty yourself at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 1st. Your top story, state charges against a former dean dropped.
I'm Jessica Ty, a local doctor with firsthand experience with Ebola.
Nice sunny day today, becoming partly cloudy later on. High of 77 degrees inland, 67 near the lake. Clear tonight at a low of 51, back into the mid to upper 70s with sun on Tuesday.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Talks between the U.S. and Iran suspended for now. Iranian media reporting that Israel is violating the ceasefire agreement by keeping up strikes in Lebanon. The conflict now entering its 14th week, along with the stranglehold on shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Mary Bruce says Americans are feeling the pinch every day.
Gas is up more than $1.30 since the war began. There's a new analysis from Moody's that says that the average American household is now paying $450 more in gas and energy since the war started. So the economic pain of this is real.
In Colorado, a corrections department spokesperson confirming that Tina Peters is no longer in custody. That after being granted clemency by the governor. The former clerk convicted in a scheme to breach voting systems in search of evidence of election fraud in 2020. And in Laos, the race to rescue 2 remaining miners from flooded remote caves continues. Crews have located them. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 1231. A school threat is under investigation in Kenosha County.
Authorities say there is no credible threat at Wilmot Union High School after a concerning voicemail prompted an investigation Monday morning. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Office says the message came from an out-of-state phone number and referenced a potential threat involving the school. School administrators immediately contacted law enforcement, and investigators determined there was no evidence of an immediate danger to students or staff. As a precaution, additional deputies were assigned to the campus. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The man accused of shooting at a soda delivery driver at a Greenfield Speedway is found competent, rather incompetent, to stand trial.
But that might not be a get-out-of-jail-free card for Anthony Martinez. A judge said he is likely to become competent with treatment, so the case is only suspended. Investigators say it all began at one of the Coca-Cola delivery driver's stops on Howard Avenue when he noticed Martinez follow him to the gas station on 60th. Martinez allegedly drove against traffic, pulled into the gas station and displayed a gun, then fired shots as the delivery driver tried to flee. The court will review another doctor's report for competency in August. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A Utah judge will decide whether to seal key evidence and bar the public from upcoming hearings for Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. While the defense argues media coverage ruins a fair trial, prosecutors are fighting to keep the hearings fully open. News Nation's Brian Enton.
Robinson's lawyers want the media kept out of that part of the hearing, arguing that the media coverage has been unfair and will make it harder for Robinson to get a fair jury when he eventually goes to trial, if he eventually goes to trial. But prosecutors are fighting to keep the hearing open. Among the evidence we plan to see includes a note Robinson wrote for his romantic partner, where he allegedly said, "I had the chance to take out Charlie Kirk, and I am going to take it."
Wisconsin is seeing a boom in new small businesses. A new report from the Wisconsin Policy Forum finds a number of small businesses grew more than 20% between 2020 and 2025. But that report also finds many entrepreneurs are having trouble turning those startups into larger companies. Researchers point to challenges like access to financing, workforce shortages, and slow population growth.
And Milwaukee leaders are beginning the Pride Month celebrations with the raising of the Intersex Progress Pride flag outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse. County Executive David Crawley.
And so while we celebrate today, we also recognize that there is still more work for all of us to be done. We must keep fighting for equality, protecting our LGBTQ plus youth, supporting inclusive spaces, and ensuring that every single person can live openly and safely throughout Milwaukee County.
This weekend, the city will host its 30th annual Pride Fest and Pride Parade.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP SmartSide siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Astros, the Brewers are home to face the Giants tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 in WTMJ. The Milwaukee Panthers are 1 win away from advancing to the Super Regional of the NCAA Men's Baseball Tournament.
A little flare out of center field, but out goes the second baseman onto the grass. Bozak makes the catch. And for the first time in school history, Milwaukee is headed to the regional final.
This Milwaukee team is legit and have caught fire at the right time.
Call courtesy of ESPN+. The Panthers beat Auburn in Central Florida in consecutive days. They'll face Auburn again tonight with the winner advancing. And breaking news from the NFL, the Browns are trading or finalizing a trade that'll send 2-time Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Not too bad. No crashes to report. We love that. Even our construction zones are seeing minimal delays on this Monday afternoon. We do have a couple of disabled vehicles out in the system, including this one. I-43 North, about 2.5 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 164. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. As I take a peek at the cameras for you, I do see that there is already a tow truck at the scene. So hopefully in the next couple of minutes here, that will be out of there. But in the meantime, I-43 North, about 2.5 miles beyond the ramp from 164. Right shoulder is currently blocked. A tow truck is trying to get that car up and out of there.
Beautiful day today. Temperatures topping out in the mid-70s, a little cooler near the lake. Similar situation on Tuesday with a high of 78 degrees, Highlands 68 near the lake. We're back into the 80s on Wednesday. Next chance of rain could be Thursday or Friday, but nothing meaningful up until that point. It's 73 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:39. Well, here's how it sounded Friday late afternoon, a game we were following right here on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Center field, Dylan O'Connell back, makes the catch over his head. For the first time in 27 years, the Milwaukee Panthers have won an NCAA tournament game, and in the process, shocked the baseball world here on day one of the 2026 NCAA tournament.
Knocking off Auburn, one of the premier powers in NCAA men's baseball. That game on Friday at Auburn's home stadium, but they weren't done yet. The Panthers scored 13 runs the next night against Central Florida.
So exciting. And what did they say to at one point? This team is legit.
Yes, they are. Well, they could definitely score with the best of the best. And now Sean Wagner's team is one win away from advancing to the Super Regionals. You got to beat Auburn again, though, tonight. Auburn got the best of the Panthers last night, a game that was played very late in the evening because of some bad weather. Sean joins us from Alabama. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Doing great. So I was going to give a game time earlier, but I really don't know the situation with weather. What do you know about when your game will be played today or tonight?
Yeah, from what we know so far, it looks like the best day of the whole week here, which is a good thing. Expected to be around a 5:06 Central Time first pitch.
Sean, did you sense Auburn on Friday night underestimated Milwaukee at all, or was this simply your team executing at a very high level?
Yeah, I don't know what Auburn's thoughts were going into it. It's easy to look at the record and the seed and all those things and feel a little bit comfortable. But I'm not going to make excuses for them. I thought our baseball club just came out and played better baseball, right? We came in with a chip on our shoulder. We wanted to prove to people that we're not who our record is. We've had some tough competition early that maybe got us in a hole if you just look at the record, but the guys have played tremendous baseball all the way throughout the week so far. Hopeful to do that again tonight and maybe walk away with a championship.
You know, Sean, it's interesting. I think it really at every level in any sport, it's kind of about when you're peaking or when you're playing your best baseball. And you obviously want to do that going into any sort of tournament setting. Does that accurately describe your crew after kind of a slow start? You gain steam progressively throughout the season, then you win the Horizon League tournament to qualify for the NCAA tournament, then you knock off Auburn and so on?
Yeah, I think so. It's easy to make excuses. You're a northern school in a mid-major conference, and you always have to travel early in the season. We're coming out of a wood floor gym, haven't seen a fly ball. But ultimately, once you get to February and you start playing your games, your opponents don't care about that, right? And so we can't make excuses. We just have to go play the games and try to learn about our team. And typically what we talk about as a program and what I learned from my former skipper and mentor and Coach Duffick was it's really a 3-season season, right? You have your non-conference slate, then you get into your conference play, and then you continually try to build and find out who your guys are going to be and what kind of team you can be so that when you get to the conference tournament in a one-bid league and you got to earn the AQ, you just go win the tournament and then you get to play your best baseball moving forward.
Yesterday's loss, obviously disappointing, especially after the big win on Friday. What was your message to the team after? What did you actually say to the guys?
Yeah, it can be heartbreaking, and it's really about how are you going to respond, right? If we look back to September or even a week ago, and I told these guys, you're going to have a chance on Monday night? I lose track of days down here. At 5 p.m. on the national stage to play for a regional championship and a chance to go to the Supers, you would have taken it then, right? So where else would you want to be? This place is probably going to be packed, and it should be. Auburn's the favorite. They respect us now, and they know they have to show up and play baseball. It's a common opponent, but it's also a common pitcher. We're going to see Jake Marciano again tonight, and that's someone that we did damage to in the first outing. I would assume that his plan of attack might be a little bit different, and we might have to alter ours. But I just want the guys to really relish the moment, embrace the atmosphere, and just go down swinging. Let's go out there with our best foot forward, and whatever happens, happens. I'm already proud of what we've done, but why not go do something more?
Well, you scored 26 runs in 2 games, so that indicates that the swinging mentality is certainly working. You guys have put the bat on the ball, ton of runs being scored. I wonder from your aspect, Sean, when it is a final game, right? Winner advances, loser is done. Do you have to manage a little bit differently in knowing that this is one game for the right to move on into the next phase of this tournament?
Yeah, ultimately for me, in my mind, it's no holds barred, right? Whatever it takes to win this baseball game is the most important thing right now. So if we want to continue to play next week, it's going to take everybody. It's going to take pinch hits. It's going to take defensive replacements. It's going to take something special out of the pitching staff and those guys that maybe have already thrown this weekend. It's going to be an all-in team effort. We're going to be, as a staff, trying to think ahead as far as we can and be prepared for it. But we just got to be able to handle that moment, and that's really what it comes down to.
Do you think this tournament run can change how recruits view Milwaukee and the Horizon League?
I do. I think that this should hopefully open up a couple more doors for us to be in that initial conversation, right? We know who we are, and people that have been on our bandwagon in the past, they understand who Milwaukee is, but I think a lot more people have gained some visibility into who we are. And I'm hopeful that when we reach out on those initial conversations now, instead of saying thanks but no thanks, at least there will be that conversation and we can get further in depth with those prospective student athletes. And then for those kids from this state, I mean, you see the hat on my head, and it's been a very popular topic on social media. We do represent the state, and we want to build a border in this state, keep the hometown kids around to do something special for everyone that plays here, right? So I think it has done something for us. I hope our run isn't over yet, but when it is, it's going to be hard on the recruiting trail and trying to get people to come buy into what we're building.
It is cool. I mean, Milwaukee really, since the 90s, been the only Division I men's baseball program in the state of Wisconsin. And just looking through your roster, too, here, Coach, there's a lot of that in-state talent that you talked about who, 2 years ago were, playing out at Whitefish Bay or out in Brookfield or in McGuanago, and now here they are playing on the home field for the Auburn Tigers with an opportunity to be a College World Series team is part of the realistic future here. That is incredible.
Yeah, that's what we talk about in the recruiting process is you're going to be tested, you're going to get opportunities, you're going to get memories. Really, when you sign up to play Division I baseball, I test our team. I put us in a really tough early season schedule, and that's intentional, right? It might come with a couple losses because we are at a disadvantage early in the season, but ultimately this is exactly what we're preparing for. That's why when we opened up at LSU, the reigning national champs, a lot of people called me crazy, right? But we're not scared of anybody. We respect everyone. We fear no one, right? And that's ultimately the mindset that we got to have is it's just the game of baseball. Whoever executes best for 9 innings is going to get the reward that they want. So we've lived in it at LSU on opening night, 11,000, 12,000 fans. You can't even get that many here. So we've been in the environment. Now can we handle the moment and what the moment is asking of us?
Sean, have you heard from alumni and former players? What was maybe one of those first messages or text messages you got once people really realized what this team was accomplishing that you just love, made you laugh, or that you'll never forget?
I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of text messages I've had to go through and some phone calls here, but what a great problem to have, having to clear your phone every night / morning. And I'm grateful for every single one of those, whether it's someone that's been with us as a player, whether it's someone who's just come on board. I've heard a lot from new people. Tremendous, right? I'm proud of every single person that's ever worn this jersey or this hat that's got us to this point. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Jerry Augustine and Scott Duffick for laying the foundation and the groundwork for our program and where we're at now. I mean, it's come a long, long ways. Amanda Braun's been great with her support and helping us elevate to where we are today. But I'm hopeful that this can maybe be the next step and we can continue to move forward and get everyone on board. So we've had Murph, Council, all kinds of really important figures. But for me, it's probably my teammates and my family members. Those are the ones that are special to me.
Well, at least you don't have to play at 10 o'clock tonight. I'm sure that was a long ordeal going through and then having your first pitch after 10 p.m. I think it was after 10 p.m. Central Time, so maybe even later where you were. But that is not normal. It seems like you'd be on a much more normal schedule today.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Like our expected game time was 7:06, and we weren't even allowed to come to the field until we really knew what was going to happen. So it's really the waiting game that is the worst part of this thing. Everyone in life, I think, likes certainty. And when you don't know if you're going to play, number one, because of the weather, and then you find out you are going to play, it almost kind of rushes you a little bit, and you got to prepare and get going because you got to get there and get your pregame in time so that we can stay on schedule for that expected game time. So that was unfortunate. I wish it was a clear day of weather and you kind of could have gone on a normal schedule. But again, you're in playoff baseball. Where else would you want to be? What other moment would you want to be in? So our guys will be ready for tonight. I hope that they don't put too much pressure on themselves. I hope they can really just sit back, look around the stadium a little bit, see what they're doing, see how special of a moment this is, and then brush it aside because we got a job to do.
And it begins a little after 5 o'clock Central Time. The Panthers of Milwaukee taking on Auburn for the right to advance to the Super Regional. Sean, we really appreciate your time. Best of luck. We'll be watching tonight, man. You got a whole state behind you.
Yeah, good luck.
I appreciate it. Go Panthers.
Yeah, you bet. 12:49 here on WTMJ. Sean Wedner, head coach of the Milwaukee Panthers men's baseball program. Great story here. Pulling for him.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Well, the folks at Gruber Law Offices are ready to fight your legal battle for you if you've been hurt in an accident. Greg Matzik here. You make that call to Gruber. They focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. And it's what they've been doing for 40 years here in the state of Wisconsin, winning your case and also giving back to the community. Boy, you can't go to an event without understanding that Gruber Law Offices is behind it. They are community-focused, and they have a powerful team ready to fight your legal battle for you. Family values, family-run business, but 30-plus attorneys and one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest, with results that speak for themselves. Making a difference, helping those in the community, and doing so for 4 decades. It's locally known and nationally recognized Gruber. Gruber-law.com. That's the website. Learn more about their firm, what they can do for you, what they do in the community, and make that call to 414-276-6666.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe, but old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
This is Major General Brian Winsky, combat veteran and president of the War Memorial Center. As veterans, we know the importance of securing our gear and our sensitive items. Secure storage of firearms saves lives. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, safe firearm storage can make a critical difference. Reach out for support at reachoutwiz.org or call 988 if you need help. You've protected others. Now take action to protect yourself and your loved ones. Thank you.
Sponsored by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin.
Everywhere you turn, it's plus, plus, plus. Retail chains, streamers, even our phones come with plus. And to think it all started with Hassellus Mattress, because nobody has more plus than us. Right now at Hassellus, get a Queen Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it for $1,459, but Hassellus has it for just $794. Plus, through Monday, you'll also get a free adjustable base. Plus, a huge selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and other big name brands. Plus, free financing. Plus, free next day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, employee-free showrooms. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hassellus Mattress. Woo! All these pluses have me feeling nonplussed. Save big on Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more every day from 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com.
Nice day today. Nice stretch of weather continues here with highs in the mid to upper 70s. A little cooler near the lake. Similar situation tomorrow. Sunny with a high of 78 degrees, 68 near Lake Michigan. We get up to about 80 or so on Wednesday. Next chance of rain looks to be on Thursday, maybe into Friday. Hard to tell this far out what that could be, but the lawn could definitely use it. But it will be dry for the next several days here in southeastern Wisconsin. Very nice afternoon shaping up here at 74 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
Taking a peek at the calendar, June 1st. You know what the start is? It's the start of this, Greg. The annual Dog Bite Awareness Campaign.
Oh, boy.
It's important. And you know who it's by? And it's for, ultimately, your mail carrier. Here's ABC's Wayne Cabot.
It's no joke. Last year, a postal employee suffered more than 5,200 dog attacks. California with the most on carriers, averaging well over one a day. Dog owners, you're urged not to open the door for your carrier unless your pet is in a separate closed room. Should your dog attack a postal worker, you could be liable for medical care, lost shifts, replacement clothing, emotional distress, costing you many thousands of dollars. That would really bite. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Nicely done, Wayne.
Yeah, way to go, Wayne. Here's the thing. I remember, we've lost my poor pup now about a year ago, but when backs would be down, sometimes, so since I live in a condo downtown, the building, it's a high rise, and so actually when the postal carrier would go in to deliver the mail, she would actually have to she would open up the little slots and we couldn't go in. That's like a rule with the postal service. I think because they don't want people messing around with the mail. So really you could not go to get your mail if she was in the process of delivering mail to people. But anyways, every once in a while we would just start chatting while she was doing that. And Bax would kind of walk up to her and she often had a little treat to give.
Yeah,
so some of the dogs on the routes are very, very friendly, and sometimes they have treats for those dogs.
That's a smart move to have treats in your pocket. So I can see the postal workers that drive around our subdivision, and oftentimes there are dogs just sort of out. And I do wonder if they are aware there's an electric fence set up, and you don't have to worry about that dog to go in the extra mile. And you know what I mean? So can they go up to the curb or not? But that could be a situation where if you're just trying to put mail in a mailbox and this lab comes charging toward you, you're not exactly sure if they're going to stop or not, or how well trained they are. But we don't have any fencing in our neighborhood. Our HOA doesn't allow it. So a lot of people have electric fences set up, but I'm not sure exactly how many of the postal workers know that.
I've seen some videos going viral on social media, too, over the years where it's this particular mail carrier and he has this dog who always comes out and is very friendly, and he knows that every single day he's going to have a little treat for him. And they're like heartwarming videos on social media. Gotta love that.
It's 12:56, 1 o'clock news coming up.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
It's so good, it's still going on, but hurry, it is going to be gone soon. It's the Memorial Day mattress sale at Steinhoffel's. Hey everybody, it's Jessica Ty. This is the best time to save on all the leading brands and take advantage of Steinhoffel's 60-month 0% financing. Save up to $1,000 on Tempur-Pedic and Beauty Rest split king adjustable base sets, known for comfort, innovation, and support. Plus, Helix Sleep's award-winning mattresses are now exclusively at Steinhoffel's. Try in store and save today. Shop the Memorial Day mattress sale. Steinhoffel's, Wisconsin's mattress leader.
I don't know about you, Dan, but I can't wait for spring.
Preach, Katie.
The sun is out a little longer, the air feels fresh, and suddenly you want to open the windows and clear out the clutter.
Spring cleaning feels good until you realize you don't have a place to put everything.
That's where we come in. At Inspired Closets, we design custom closets, pantries, mudrooms, and more that give everything in your home a place.
Imagine starting the season organized and stress-free.
Let us help you calm the chaos. See what we can do at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Abby Home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Let me tell you the story of Jack the Giant Slayer.
1-2 pitch, and he lines one in right, coming in is Churio, diving, did he make the catch? He sure did! Jackson Churio!
The Brewers clash with the Giants tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. This series is sponsored by the Hot House Tavern, Left's Lucky Town, and Revere's Wells Street Tavern. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 101. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 1st. Your top story, gas prices on the decline.
I'm Jessica Ty, highlighting safety during Bike Week.
Partly cloudy today, 77 inland, 67 near the lake. Mostly clear tonight and a low of 51, a little above that lakeside temperature right now. It's 72 and sunny in Milwaukee. At 101. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, with a deal to end the war in Iran on the table, gas prices starting to tick down just slightly. News Nation's Alec Capriello.
Today, the national average for a gallon of regular gas stands at $4.34, 2 cents cheaper than yesterday and 18 cents below last week's average. Reports of productive peace talks with Iran also leading to lower crude oil prices. Prior to the conflict, Americans were paying on average roughly $3 a gallon. But experts warn not to expect any quick return to pre-war pricing.
Prices are 46% higher than right before the conflict began. The current average price in Wisconsin is $4.14.
With the decision announced on the first day of Pride Month, a federal appeals court in Washington has ruled in large part against the Trump administration's ban on transgender people serving in the military. ABC's Stephen Portnoy explains.
By a 2-1 vote, the D.C.-based appeals court panel ruled in favor of transgender service members, with the majority opinion finding Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's transgender ban to be arbitrary and based on animus. But the decision does not grant relief to transgender people who hope to enlist, and it does not extend beyond the named plaintiffs in the case. Appeals Court Judge Justin Walker, a Trump appointee, dissented, saying questions of military readiness should not be decided by courts.
The ruling upholds a ruling last year that found President Trump's executive order to exclude transgender troops from military service likely violates their constitutional rights.
The trial of a man accused of killing a UW-Whitewater gymnast delayed again.
Online court records show Chad Richards' trial, previously scheduled for June 9th, has now been pushed back to November 30th. During a status conference Friday, defense attorneys told the court they are continuing to review a large amount of evidence in the case. Richards is charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of gymnast Kara Welsh. Prosecutors say the 21-year-old gymnast was shot and killed inside her Whitewater apartment in August 2024. Richards has pleaded not guilty to the charge and faces a life sentence if convicted. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Several new laws take effect today that impact ATV and UTV riders in the state.
Among the biggest changes, everyone riding in a UTV must now wear a seatbelt. The Department of Natural Resources says riders can no longer tow people behind ATVs or UTVs on designated trails and routes, and new window tint restrictions now apply to UTVs. Officials also warning that intentionally damaging property could lead to stricter penalties. The DNR encouraging riders to review the new rules before heading out this summer. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee leaders highlighting recent investments in bike safety. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson's annual Bike Week ride showcased projects along streets in the downtown area. Mayor Johnson on WTMJ.
On Kilbourne Avenue, where we saw a 33% decrease in crashes and a 21% decrease in people speeding after concrete protected bike lanes were installed. That makes the streets safer for people in Milwaukee.
Multiple biking events are being held across Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin throughout the course of the week. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is off just a bit today, down about 21 points, still sitting at 51,011. NASDAQ is up about 200 points at 27,171, and the S&P up about 30 at 7612. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
The Giants are in town. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:05.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry from Point Taken on 620 WTMJ. You know, in radio, people hear your voice first. But when I'm out in the community, meeting listeners or hosting events, I'm told that my smile is my signature. That's why I trust Dr. James Michaels and the team at Economawalk Dental Care with my smile. And yes, I drive all the way from Milwaukee to Economawalk to see Dr. Michaels and his incredible staff. Because when you find a dental team that makes you feel comfortable, listened to, and cared for, that drive is worth it. Dr. Michaels has been practicing in Economawalk for more than 25 years, and his approach is simple. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Whether you're due for a cleaning, thinking about cosmetic options, or just need a dental home where you feel at ease, call Economawalk Dental Care at 262-567-7224. That's 262-567-7224, or visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. Economawalk Dental Care with Dr. James Michaels, the team I trust with my smile.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers complete the month of May with a record of 19-7. Jacob Mizorowski earned 5 of the wins, striking out 57 batters while only walking 6.
That was all off-season work, and guys in KC that have helped me a ton. Just with that stuff and getting the command of the zone and a lot better with every pitch, so it's been a huge help.
Brewers begin the day with a record of 35-21. The Giants are in town for a 4-game series beginning tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Organized team activities resumed for the Packers today. Head coach Matt LaFleur monitoring the recovery of several key players, including tight end Tucker Kraft, who has been seen at the facility, working his way back from a torn ACL.
Tuck looks great right now. You want him out there. He looks so good, you want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
And some breaking news in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns are finalizing a trade that'll send two-time Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I don't want to jinx it, but it is looking really good. How about that? A nice day on the roads to start off the new work week here on Monday afternoon. We have no crashes to report. A couple of disabled vehicles. They are not causing any problems. In fact, some of these that are reported, I believe, the incident report is just sticking there from early this morning because as I take a peek at the cameras for you here, I don't actually see the broken down vehicles there anymore. I will let you know if anything else happens, but for right now, we're looking good. The only issue we have are construction zones, and even then, the slowings aren't too bad today.
Traffic is sponsored by Capri Communities. Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium. Visit EnjoyLifeSymposium.com. Live life to the fullest at Capri's Enjoy Life Symposium on Wednesday, June 10th. This free event for older adults includes speakers, exhibitors, activities, and more. Register today at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Nice day today. Highs in the mid to upper 70s inland. Little cooler near the lake. Might touch 70 degrees closer to Lake Michigan. Clear tonight, a low of 51. 78 the high on Tuesday, 68 near the lake. Wednesday's high, 83, 75 near the lake. Chance of rain on Thursday with a high of 87. We are over the 70-degree mark at the Avenue, where it's 72 and sunny at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, beautiful stretch of weather continues. May want to get a sprinkler out on that lawn if you've not already. A chance of rain later in the week. Lauren Larson joins us coming up at about 1:35. But we are into June with a beautiful day here, a Monday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the U.S. is now heading into week 14 of the conflict in Iran. It is Monday, June 1st, 1:10 p.m. here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and there is still no end in sight. President Trump is making it clear he's in no rush to end things, despite the political pressure he may be feeling. Meanwhile, retired Army General and former NATO Supreme Allied Commander General Wesley Clark on the topic.
I hope the American people will ride this thing through. We have to get this finished. We cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, nor can we allow Iran to control the Strait of Hormuz.
Meanwhile, state media is reporting Iran has halted talks with the U.S. over Israel's strikes on Lebanon.
Number 2, the Milwaukee Panthers are one win away from advancing to the Super Regional of the NCAA Men's Baseball Tournament. They'll take on 4th seeded and 5th ranked Auburn tonight at 5 o'clock in Alabama. The Panthers beat Auburn 13-8 on Friday. Then they beat Central Florida 13-6 on Saturday. Panthers did lose to Auburn last night 8-1, setting up tonight's game.
It's tough. Like our expected game time was 7:06. And we weren't even allowed to come to the field until we really knew what was going to happen. So it's really the waiting game that is the worst part of this thing. Everyone in life, I think, likes certainty. And when you don't know if you're going to play, number one, because of the weather, and then you find out you are going to play, it almost kind of rushes you a little bit, and you got to prepare and get going because you got to get there and get your pregame in time so that we can stay on schedule for that expected game time. So.
Yeah, that's Sean Wedner, the head coach, manager of the team here. They played at like a 10:30 last night. They took the field because all sorts of weather issues. But Auburn went through the same thing. That's a very good team, but the Panthers are hot right now. Should they advance by beating Auburn for the second time in 4 days, they'll move on to the Super Regional, a place nobody would have picked the Milwaukee Panthers to be.
That is just awesome. Fingers crossed. Number 3, we're now hearing from some of the passengers who were on the United flight that diverted to Madison over the weekend after a hijack scare. A 75-year-old passenger on a flight from Chicago to Minneapolis tried to get into the cockpit more than once. Investigators now say that man was having a mental health crisis. Mike Rundle was also on that plane and watched as law enforcement tried to contain the man.
5 police officers came on the plane and asked the gentleman to stand up, put handcuffs on him, and walked him out, taking this very seriously. And of course you have to, if that, you don't really know what the intentions are of any person, that might be, trying to get into a cockpit of a commercial airplane.
The FBI is not pursuing criminal charges. Coming up at 2:37 right here in Wisconsin's Midday News, we'll get inside perspective from a local pilot. Learn about decisions that must be made in moments like this, how much passengers need to know, and his concerns about real hijackers 25 years after 9/11.
Coming up next, a new segment here in Wisconsin's Midday News focused on development in southeast Wisconsin. We got an expert standing by after this.
The news you need to know every weekday on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Milwaukee Public Schools cutting administrative staff and adding teachers as the Board of School Directors approves a $1.6 billion budget.
That's 8 ayes, 1 no. The motion passes.
The union wanted a more than 2.5% cost of living raise for teachers.
Okay, from where? You're at $2,000 just for schools. The money you have is the money you have. What would you have her do at this point?
Only here on WTMJ.
Hey, Greg Natzik here from my good friends at Siding Unlimited. Wonderful people. They got a wonderful business as well. When it comes to protecting and beautifying your home's exterior, you count on Siding Unlimited, the best installers of high-quality products you are going to find. They installed the siding in our house about 9.5 years ago. It still looks brand new today. LP Smart Side Siding, a fantastic product, but it's got to be installed properly for it to get the full benefit. Well, Siding Unlimited understands that. We've got beautifully colored siding, not fading, not warping in any way. The installation perfect, and they will take the same care of your project when it comes to roofing, doors, windows, that beautiful siding, you name it. Also, expanding your space in the outdoors, that living space. You want that outdoor kitchen. You want a nice place to entertain out of the patio or the deck. Well, Outdoor Living Unlimited, their subsidiary of Siding Unlimited, can handle that for you. They did it for us, now celebrating its 11th anniversary. Outdoor Living Unlimited and Siding Unlimited all together in one beautiful showroom in Brookfield. 665 Larry Courts, where you find them. Also, visit sidingunlimited.com.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you.
Hey, it's Monday. Don't cook. Buy one pizza today at the Mine Shaft Family Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Get a second pizza free. Free free. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees. Order now. Pick up your free pizza shortly. Just call the Mine Shaft.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Nice stretch of weather continues here in southeastern Wisconsin. Temperatures topping out of the mid to upper 70s today. Inland, a little cooler near the lake. It says the lakeside high is 68. We're already above that. That's a little further away from the lake, however. It's at 72. Tomorrow's high is 78. A little cooler near the lake, up to 83 and sunny on Wednesday. 72 and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 116. Well, new segment here on Wisconsin's Midday News, focused on development in southeastern Wisconsin. Well, who better to bring in every other week than Josh Jeffers, founder and CEO of J. Jeffers & Company. He's overseen billions in commercial real estate transactions spanning office spaces, multifamily housing, retail, hospitality. If you're looking for an expert, we've got him sitting in our studio. Hey, Josh.
Hey, how are you?
We're trying to figure out a name for this, and we're not sure if it should be the blueprint or concrete concepts. Maybe we'll throw it out to our fans to figure that out.
You could say Crane Watch.
Crane Watch.
And I like the idea of that, or Crane Counter, but I really kind of like what Greg said, too, with the blueprint. What are you thinking?
I like Blueprint. Blueprint is cool. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll pass it through our production team.
We'll think about it, yeah. And next time, it'll be done.
Well, a lot of big things to talk about here. I wanted to start with 794 and kind of the latest and where things stand. You know, public hearings that wrapped up in April, a final decision on these 4 potential options being reviewed. It is interesting to me, Josh. Walk me through this. Why is the Wisconsin DOT narrowing down these designs versus the county or the city of Milwaukee? Why is it on the Wisconsin DOT to work through this process?
Sure. Yeah. So ultimately, you know, the 794 highway is part of the federal highway system. So at the end of the day, you know, the entity that's footing the bill for repair or replacement of the highway and that has approval rights over it is the Federal Highway Administration. So the federal government ultimately decides, but they make a decision based off of the DOT's recommendation. So Wisconsin DOT makes a recommendation, Federal Highway Administration makes the ultimate call.
Supporters have pointed to the Deer District or even Park East as comparisons, but are those fair comparisons, especially with the economics right now in 2026?
I would say probably not. A lot of comparisons are made to the Park East Highway that got taken down almost 25 years ago. That opened up 24 acres of new developable land and what was the Park East corridor. Now, like you said, it's home to the Deer District and Fiserv Forum, and people say, what a success that was. Why don't we do that again? But
it took a while.
It took a long time, a good 25 years. And the two probably aren't entirely comparable just because the former Park East Highway didn't really have quite as much traffic, as much connectivity as the I-94 highway does right now. That's a major, major thoroughfare that goes right through the downtown.
Well, I remember when Mayor Norquist was really lobbying hard to get that Park East knocked down because you had the Bradley Center, you had a terrible sports bar, and that was about it.
That's right.
That's about all you had, right? And now look what it is. Not only the Deer District, but all of the area around MSOE, the development there, it's all kind of linked together, and it looks beautiful. It's really well done. As a developer, when you look at the 794 project, and I know we've seen renderings, and those look great anytime you draw them up, but renderings in reality can be different. As a developer, what kind of potential do you see in that area?
Yeah, so that's probably one of the biggest things that gets talked about is the development potential, right? A lot of the advocates for taking down the highway are saying, look, this would open up 16 acres of new vacant land along these 9 blocks from basically the Marquette interchange all the way down to the Hone Bridge. It's a lot of prime real estate right in downtown, along the river, along the lake. But my thought is, coming at this from the developer perspective, Milwaukee doesn't really have a shortage of developable sites in the downtown. We've got a lot of vacant land already. We have a lot of parking lots, surface lots that, could be developed on. They're already just sitting there. Many of them are actually right next to the highway. And I think one of the biggest things is the new study, it pointed out that one of the biggest, most prime pieces of real estate that would be opened up is there's about a 2.7 acre parcel of land at Clybourne and Lincoln Memorial Drive. So this is just south, if you can envision, it's just south of where the Couture apartment building is, right on Lake Michigan. So amazing land site. It's been there for almost 10 years. It's been sitting there since 2017. So I'm just not really sure that if you all of a sudden open up 16 more acres, have we already absorbed a lot of the vacant land that's just sitting there?
Well, and you talk about land along the lake. I mean, that is prime real estate. I feel like it's always been prime real estate, but people didn't truly understand that it was prime real estate. I was looking at, I just kind of skimmed it, didn't read the whole thing. Might have been in the Chicago Tribune over the weekend, but it was showing a new restaurant along the river, and it looked awesome. I thought, how fun, and I want more of those in Milwaukee.
Absolutely. Milwaukee, I would say, has actually done a pretty good job with its lakefront, driving up Lincoln Memorial Drive, getting onto the east side. There's been a lot of good development there over the years. And downtown has seen some good development, recently as well. But, when you look at some of these numbers, it just doesn't seem like there's enough demand to fill some of the vacant land that we already have.
You talked about your perspective as a developer, and that's key here, and one of the reasons we have you on as an expert today. But I'm also curious, just from a personal perspective, and how you use the land. I mean, are you just as Josh? Are you just walking around? Do you use that land that's underneath 794?
I do. In fact, I'm a user of both the land and the 794 highway. I come in from the west suburbs every day. I drive on that 794 literally every day. I work in the Huron office building right at the corner of Clybourne and Broadway, where the Tupelo Honey is. I walk underneath the 794 highway as it exists today to go to the Milwaukee Public Market or the Third Ward.
You play a little pickleball underneath the highway there?
I haven't done that yet. That looks actually really fun. I hear them over there, going to town. But actually, the pickleball is a great example. I think what we've done over the last decade is we've actually figured out ways to activate that land underneath the highway and to increase connectivity as it exists now. So I almost think, if you were to take it down completely and replace it with a street grid, how does that now kind of interrupt some of the flow that we've already created, right? If you're going to cross from downtown into the Third Ward, how do you do that now if there are still, maybe it's not a full highway, but you'd have some pretty busy streets that you'd have to go across or over or around in some way, form or fashion.
Yeah, I remember that was part of the Park East discussion too. What do you do with all those cars? Where do they go? And it's like, well, it was like a thumbnail of a freeway. Like they'll figure out where to go in downtown. And I think that has kind of sorted itself out. I wanted you to kind of reconcile a couple of different things. There's not a ton of demand right now for new downtown office space, right? A lot of people working from home. These are conversion projects now to go into residential. There is a need for more affordable housing, which we've discussed. But the study put this development potential for the 794 at $490 million. Now, in my mind, that sounds like a lot of money. But from a developer perspective, is that a lot of money? Is that shortchanging it? How do you view that?
Yeah, amazingly, it's really not. $490 million, that's a big number for sure. But when you think about 16 acres of developable land right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, that should be able to support literally billions of dollars of development. And, even some of the projects that are out there right now, we talked about the groundbreaking for Fieldhouse Flats a few weeks ago. That's a $130 million project. You just mentioned some of the office conversions happening. 100 East Wisconsin is being converted right now from one of the largest office buildings into workforce housing currently. That's an almost $200 million project. So, you think about just those two projects by themselves. I mean, that's halfway there to $490 million. And to say, that it would take 25 years to do it is probably not that encouraging either.
So if you had to bet today, is 794 coming down, or is it just being repaired and improved?
My bet is it stays. I think we're probably stuck with it for better or worse. I do think I think it's very cool. I mean, I think it would be very interesting to envision the world without it, but it would seem that the economics, the hard math suggests that it would be very hard to actually replace it and, with a city street grid.
The Blueprint with Josh Jeffers and company.
Are you putting it in cement?
Maybe. I wanted to say it out loud to see if it really sounded good in my head. I kind of like the Blueprint.
I kind of do too.
We'll see. We'll keep workshopping. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Josh Jeffers will join us every other week here at Wisconsin's Midday News, going through all the latest development trends and what he is seeing as a developer. Fantastic perspective. He'll be a regular guest with us here on Mondays. We appreciate it, Josh. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Josh.
Appreciate it.
125 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Signing Unlimited. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us. Wisconsin's Midday News.
Are you ready to become a champion? Oh, yeah, you are. This June, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and team up with Bernie Brewer for his awesome $300,000 journey. Grab your rewards card and play your favorite lineup of games to earn entries. Thursday nights, you could compete in the Bernie Winball game for a chance at major prizes. There's no I in team, but there is in win. Play your best during Bernie's $300,000 journey. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, for 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. You know the name. Have you made a call to Geis? If you got an issue with your garage door, busted opener, busted door, no problem. Geis can get you back in the game with brands like CHI and LiftMaster. Doors and openers for every budget, incredible inventory, which could mean a quick turnaround time for your project. They even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. It's Geis, a trusted name in the business for 70 years. Visit GeisDoors.com or stop by their showroom. It's in Brookfield, right off Barker Road. I've been there. I've connected with the people at Geis. They've done work at our house. Top-notch service, incredible quality, wonderful people. It's Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Father's Day is coming up, and let's be honest, Dad doesn't need another tie. Give him something he actually wants. New windows that lower energy bills, a durable new roof, beautiful siding, or a bath remodel he can brag about to every guest who visits. And during the Exterior Pros and Baths June savings event, you'll get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings, but only for a limited time. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You know, it's been more than 3 years since we got our garage door from J.D. Griffiths, and it still looks brand new. I'm telling you, it's quiet, it's smooth, and honestly, I didn't realize how much of a difference a quality door would make until we upgraded. J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for decades. They're local, trusted, and they handle everything. Try the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. Schedule your free consultation from J.D. Griffiths.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
Discover your new favorite city, Milwaukee. Catch a sunrise over Lake Michigan. Sip your way through craft breweries and dive into a dining scene that's turning heads. From museums and music to thrilling sports teams and buzzing nightlife, Milwaukee delivers all season long. Good things are always brewing on the Fresh Coast. The expert guides at visitmilwaukee.org have everything you need to fully plan every detail. Whatever it is you'd like to do in Milwaukee. Plan your trip today at visitmilwaukee.org.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 1st. Your top story, increased police at Kenosha High School.
I'm Jessica Ty. Growing demand for affordable housing.
Partly cloudy today, high 78 inland, around 70 near the lake. Clear tonight and a low of 51. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we'll get to that in a moment, following these headlines from ABC. It's 72 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In a new social media post, President Trump says he spoke with Israel's leader and Hezbollah mediators, and both have agreed to pause fighting. It comes after Iran media says Iranian leaders were suspending talks with the U.S., claiming Israel was violating the ceasefire deal. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge says Iran is also vowing to step up the blockade at the Strait of Hormuz.
Despite all of the pressure, the Iranians are still maintaining that they want something out of this negotiation, that they're not just willing to give up their nuclear program wholesale. That seems to be the case, and that is what President Trump wants.
Hundreds of demonstrators taking to the streets of Nanyuki in central Kenya today, protesting plans to establish a U.S. Ebola quarantine facility at a nearby military base. Demonstrators argue it could raise the risk for local residents. Health officials say there are no suspected cases of Ebola outside Central Africa. On Wall Street, oil prices have surged again. Tensions remain between the U.S. and Iran. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A school threat under investigation in Kenosha County.
Authorities say there is no credible threat at Wilmot Union High School after a concerning voicemail prompted an investigation Monday morning. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Office says the message came from an out-of-state phone number and referenced a potential threat involving the school. School administrators immediately contacted law enforcement, and investigators determined there was no evidence of an immediate danger to students or staff. As a precaution, additional deputies were assigned to the campus. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents is considering a tuition increase for undergrads. The proposal would raise tuition by 2% for the next school year and add $56 in fees. That means tuition at UW-Madison would top $12,000. UW-Milwaukee tuition would top $11,000. The Board of Regents is expected to vote on the proposal at its meeting here in Milwaukee later this week.
Well, it's unlikely the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates later this month, but they might have to consider a rate hike later this year. Annex Wealth Management Chief Economic Strategist Brian Jacobson tells WTMJ.
So I think the clock is really ticking for President Trump to get some sort of deal to get the straits open. Otherwise, the Fed is probably going to change their language. They're probably going to talk about possibly by December needing to hike as opposed to wanting to cut.
The Fed's next meeting is scheduled for June 16th. It'll be the first for new chair Kevin Warsh.
A new affordable housing project highlights growing demand in southeast Wisconsin. A Whitefish Bay development includes 17 units, but hundreds of people are already waiting for a chance to move in. Editor-in-chief for the Milwaukee Business Journal, Tim Gibbons.
The interesting number isn't the number of units, it's that they have 356 people on the waiting list for those units. This is a project by Sparrow Commercial, who is built this apartment complex. Milwaukee County chipped in about $3 million to fund this project, and it really is a sign of the demand that is out there for affordable housing.
Gibbons says the developer, Sparrow Commercial, is exploring developments elsewhere in Wisconsin.
A Milwaukee doctor is eager to resume mission work as an Ebola outbreak spreads in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Dr. Cindy Jones Nosicek has traveled to a clinic in neighboring Uganda over a dozen times. She tells WTMJ how the Ebola virus spreads through bush meat.
For these people in the DRC, that's 80% of their protein intake. So if somebody kills an animal and then gets their blood on them, that's how it starts.
Dr. Nosicek says this Ebola strain has strong gastrointestinal symptoms, making it difficult to distinguish from other diseases like malaria.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Skivity. Celebrate active aging at the Enjoy Life Symposium. Join Capri Communities and adults 55 plus for a free high-energy day at the Enjoy Life Acting Aging Symposium. Live entertainment, a senior fashion show, and speakers like, get this, Melinda Myers and Chef Michael Fecker, the Ukuladies, and Milwaukee's Dancing Grannies. Capri Communities brings it all together for one unforgettable day, Wednesday, June 10th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Register now at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com, and to be entered to win a Green Bay game day experience, that's EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's All Sports Desk. What a great month of May for the Brewers, posting a record of 19-7. Miz leading the way, earning 5 victories, striking out 57 while only walking 6.
That was all off-season work, and guys in KC that have helped me a ton. Just with that stuff and getting the command of the zone and a lot better with every pitch, so it's been a huge help.
Brewers begin the day with a record of 35-21. The Giants are in town for a 4-game series beginning tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Organized team activities resume today for the Packers. Head coach Matt LaFleur monitoring several injuries, including tight end Tucker Kraft, who has been working out at the facility, trying to work his way back from a torn ACL.
Tuck looks great right now. You want him out there. He looks so good, you want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
And the Milwaukee Panthers baseball team faces Auburn tonight with a trip to the Super Regionals of the NCAA tournament on the line. A game scheduled to begin just after 5 o'clock Central Time.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A crash popped up just like minutes, maybe even seconds. Might have been 60 seconds after I did the last update for you. There is a crash now in Milwaukee County on the exit to 145 Fond du Lac Avenue from I-43 South. That is a busy spot. I was just taking a peek at the camera. It's actually hard to see from this particular vantage point, but it looks like this one does involve a semi. I can see the semi just peeking out a little bit because you got the bridge overhead that's blocking the view. Bottom line, though, you got a newer crash on the exit to 145 Fond du Lac Avenue from I-43 South. Other than that, the only other thing I do want to alert you to is the congestion due to construction delays. It's getting a little bit heavier on 94 eastbound and westbound right now.
Oh, what a beautiful day. A beautiful day to get outside, maybe dine a little al fresco. Maybe if you're going to a restaurant, boy, you should be eating outside today. Doesn't it feel like that kind of day?
It feels like that kind of day, without a doubt. But it depends where you are, right, too? Because sometimes you get a little breeze, and even though it's beautiful outside, some people, especially some older people in Wisconsin, say, a little too chilly for me.
I am a little bit of an outdoor dining snob, right? I like the comfortable temperatures. I don't want to be too hot.
You don't want the food to get cold.
I don't want the ice to melt, and I don't want that, right? Yeah,
right.
No, that's very key. Very key. Jacob Montesano, TMJ4 meteorologist, joining us. Are you at a restaurant right now, Jacob?
How did you know?
A little birdie told me that you might be out. It was a little weather center gathering. What do you guys got going on?
Well, I actually can't tell you, but you'll find out soon enough. But as far as eating outside, we are inside right now. I don't know if this place is outdoor dining. It might be in the back. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, we're out with the whole weather team right now.
Okay, he can't tell us, which made me go, ooh, now I want to know. That was a good tease, Jacob. I'm going to take a guess, and you don't have to tell us anything, Jacob. But Greg, I'm going to let you know. My guess is they're shooting a new promo.
Oh, that could be. There
for
you
Storm
go.
Team 4.
That'd be fun.
Okay, all right, Jacob. Radio silence, huh?
Well, his silence is an admission. That's what I would gather out of that. What a beautiful day, though. A good stretch continues here. I know people are saying, hey, we could use a little water on the lawn. That might be true. But also, you can't argue with the conditions. Gorgeous outside.
Yeah, very, very nice. We're looking at upper 60s lakeside, middle to lower 70s westward. A decent amount of cloud cover, but it still feels kind of bright out, even with the sun behind the clouds at times. Had some light sprinkles this morning, not expecting any of that rain to continue. Maybe just a sprinkle here or two, but otherwise pretty dry through the rest of today. Tomorrow will feature a little bit more sunshine, pretty similar temperatures, upper 60s lakeside, middle 70s westward. Wednesday, more sunshine. We'll see the temperatures warm up a bit. We're talking middle 70s lakeside, then lower 80s westward. Then Thursday, we're really going to see a temperature warm up with 80s expected for everyone. And because it's been so dry, that will also be accompanied by lower dew points. So it's not going to be muggy by any means, despite the fact that some areas could get into the 90s. Now, once we get to Friday, we are looking at a chance of some thunderstorms. That will increase the dew points a little bit, and we're still expecting highs in the 80s at that point. So Friday and Saturday will be our best chances of thunderstorms. Right now, definitely could see some minor severe weather. This time of year, anytime you see a thunderstorm chance, there is that chance of severe weather. But doesn't look like it's anything significant, at least not yet. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But we will definitely take the rainfall. Hopefully we do see a decent amount. Nothing, obviously, significant-wise. We don't want to be flooding concerns, but we need the rainfall, so we'll take it. But still going to be dry from now through Friday with those summer-like temperatures by the end of the week.
Yeah, we definitely need some rain. That does sound, for the most part, like a really good forecast, though. Can we back up just a moment and start at this morning, Jacob? Because I didn't see it myself, but it looked like some people witnessed some amazing rainbows today across southeastern Wisconsin.
Yeah, we got a lot of good pictures. It seemed like a lot of them were around like the Waukesha, Brookfield area. A lot of great photos submitted to us, even a little bit of a double rainbow if you look closely. But yeah, a little bit of that light rain mixed with the sun and clouds created that rainbow. So yeah, very good photos. I didn't see it myself, but I did see a lot of those photos.
Well, we'll let you get back to lunch and whatever it is that you're doing that you can't tell us about. Say hi to the gang for us, and we'll check it again tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
I
Thanks,
appreciate it, Jacob. I wonder where they were. Wonder what the cuisine was. Wonder what that promo will look like that he can't talk about.
It's got to be a promo if he can't tell us, right? Because at first I was like, well,
right.
also they do those let's go into the community, but that's not a secret. They want people to know, so it can't be that.
Well, we do know this. Wherever Niz goes, people tend to show up in droves. They want pictures. They want autographs, right? They just want to be seen
Do people
around
still
Niz.
want autographs?
Of Niz? You got that right.
I think people want pictures these days. But back in the day, people would. They would stop you in the grocery store and ask you to sign something.
Yeah.
It was like, what? We're just doing the news or the weather.
But you're in their living room. It's 1:42.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between.
Now through Wednesday, save on 2-liter bottles, selected varieties, Super Chill Soda, 2 for $3. 1 pound selected varieties, Essential Everyday Butter, 2 for $5. Whole Seedless Watermelon, $5.99. Golden Plump Bone-in Chicken Breast, $1.49 a pound.
Safe.
What?
It's a long fly ball.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods' ultimate fan experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here? Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars? Each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
It is 1:45. America's second largest teachers union is calling for screen bans and AI limits in schools. The plan is called Devices Down, Eyes Up, Hands On. As part of that plan, the American Federation of Teachers is proposing banning screens for students pre-K through second grade. And the president of the American Federation of Teachers spoke with ABC News today.
Kids like the screens better than they like learning. And we have to actually create active learning and attention and cognition again.
We need a healthy medium. That's what we need.
So this is a really interesting debate. And I was talking about this with some friends because there are all sorts of rules and thoughts about, cell phones in class and in school. Should you have your device on you? What about screen time you're at home? How much should you have a screen in front of you? What is the content on that screen? So here's where I get kind of caught up. Is this more about screen time or is it more about the content on the screen? Are you mindlessly scrolling on Google or are you doing something that is part of a lesson in school? a math lesson, crossword math, which my daughters like to do. It's on their tablets. They do it. It's cross math. It's exactly what you would think it is. It's not mindless doom scrolling or just kind of random YouTube watching. So what is it? Is it about the screen and what that does, or is it about the content that's on the screen? Because where my daughters are now in school, everything is on a screen. Everything.
Well, and speaking of content, especially with AI and with social media and some of these videos, sometimes you have videos where you really can learn. But are the kids learning, and then are they applying it, or are they just kind of seeing something and then in and out it goes?
There's a word that's crazy. It's called cognitive offloading, which means that what's happening is that kids are actually not really applying knowledge. They are acquiring knowledge, but they're not problem solving. They have kids are not reading books anymore.
What do you think about that?
Well,
are the kids reading books these days?
It is interesting because both my daughters love to read. And one, we got I guess it's like a subscription, sort of like you'd have for like a Kindle back in the day, but she's able to read on her tablet. So again, reading, good. But the screen time, experts would say, well, it's probably too much screen time if you're looking at that blue light coming off your tablet every day. But it is also reading, so there is the educational component of it. So I get it. I feel like screens are more common in the classroom because, well, my daughter's got a Chromebook. Everybody's got a Chromebook in her class. It's no longer a blackboard where you're writing with chalk. It's a smartboard where you're pointing at things. I don't think my kids are writing down the math problem or writing out the English lesson, right? It's all digitized for them, and they maybe write in the answer, but I don't think they're writing as much in school today as they were when I was in school.
Man, when I think back, and this is not reading for enjoyment necessarily, though sometimes it was depending on the class, but I loved that old-fashioned having the textbook, however big it was and too heavy sometimes, and however costly it was if you were in college. But being able to take a highlighter and just
make
like
your notes.
Great point, and put your little notes in there. And you just don't do that anymore. Maybe you see something on a screen, and if you're in high school or you're in college, you see a little something, and maybe you print it off and you highlight it there and make some notes. But it is different.
So how does that affect your retention? Right. So for me, I like to write things down. If you take notes, right? Or you take notes in class. You started doing that in high school, did it throughout college. You take notes. That's how I would commit it to my mind. I would take those notes, I would transfer them into a way that I could study it for an exam, something along that line. I don't know how much that's happening at the high school level. My daughters aren't quite that old. A lot of their stuff is worksheets, but those aren't handed to you. Those are done on the Chromebook, and then you hit submit, and then it goes into the portal, and your teacher grades your work. It's just a different system all along. But if we're worried about screen time because of what it does to your eyes and your attention span, well, there's a lot of screens in a lot of classrooms. So is it the content or is it the screen? That's my fundamental question.
When you just talked about taking notes, that took me back because before we used the phrase side gig, I had a side gig in college.
You're a note taker?
Didn't call it that. Remember I told you that? It was one of those. I wish I could remember the name of the company, but it was something where it was a little way from, I always came back to Wisconsin, and I worked during the summers, but I didn't work during the school year. So this was a way for me to get a little money coming in to, spend on those costly textbooks. But yeah, there was a company where you could take notes for the class and then submit them, and you could help other students. And I thought, well, why wouldn't I do that? Because I take notes. I take notes well. I'm good at doing it. And I thought I can help others. I'm going to go to class anyways. I'm going to take notes. So it felt like the perfect side gig.
I bet you were a good note taker, though. I bet you were very good. Color-coded, everything kind of in the margins, looking good. You're not dipping below that line on the loose leaf paper.
Oh, the loose leaf paper.
I bet you're a good note taker.
That takes you back, too, doesn't it?
Love it. It's 1:51, we'll call it here on WTMJ.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Well, celebrate with Horicon Bank, celebrating its 130th anniversary. They've got stuff planned throughout the entire year, and why not? A bank that opened its doors for the first time in 1896 in the town of Horicon is now opening doors to branches in a variety of different cities, relatively new branches in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Grafton, West Bend, Menominee Falls. It's Horicon Bank. Expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. That's what got them started, and that's what they thrive on. You and your business, linking them together with products and services that go hand in hand. It's Horicon Bank. Truly the natural choice and outstanding people. They've got a wonderful business model, and you know you're working with a local bank here. Horicon Bank, right here in southeastern Wisconsin. Together doing good for 130 years, it's Horicon Bank. Member FDIC.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Let me tell you the story of Jack the Giant Slayer.
1-2 pitch, and he lines one in right, coming in is Churio, diving, did he make the catch? He sure did! Jackson Churio!
The Brewers clash with the Giants tonight at American Family Field.
Jackson Churio with a dazzling play.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. This series is sponsored by the Hot House Tavern, Left's Lucky Town, and Revere's Wells Street Tavern. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I know it's not possible because they're looking at Arlington Heights and Indiana, but with the idea of the Kenosha Bears or the Chicago Bears playing in Kenosha, does that ring to you? Does that sound like, ooh, that would be the ultimate dig on the neighbors to the south here, bitter rivals to the Packers, the Bears in Wisconsin?
No, I don't like it because I understand where you're coming from with that would be the ultimate dig, but also like, no. This is not your turf.
Okay.
Beat
but we'll gladly take your money, right, if anybody's coming and they build a beautiful dome and all of a sudden you got a Super Bowl in Kenosha or something along that line and the state of Wisconsin reaps all the benefits.
But I just don't like that.
It does sound
I thought maybe they're going to go to the armpit of Indiana.
Well, Hammond, Indiana is what's being looked at right now. I don't know how serious this is. Maybe it is leverage, but the latest now with the Chicago Bears saga, and it is quite a saga, is that their stadium and their situation is they don't really have much ownership of it, right? The Parks Department owns where they play, and that's part of why the field is always
in terrible condition. You know who has ownership of their team?
Yes, right here in the state of Wisconsin.
Us and the Green Bay Packers.
Well, the Bears are working through a variety of different things right now to help figure out where they are going to build and plunk down their next home. It is not going to be in Chicago proper. That seems very much reality. So the front office has stated they're currently finalizing parallel evaluations for Arlington Heights, Illinois. They got a ton of land out there. They got a ton of space. They've got it all kind of picked out. Meanwhile, these folks from Indiana, Hammond, Indiana, have come in and said, hey, we'll take you. We're actually closer to Chicago than Arlington Heights. It'll be easier for you to get to where we're located than where you want to have them located in the state of Illinois.
What else is going on in Hammond, Indiana these days? And I'm not saying that as a knock because I went to school, Indiana University. I know Hammond, but I have not kept up with it. So there may be things going on in Hammond, but I honestly, I don't know. And my guess is that they could use something big.
Well, the reason it has come to this, and there was a lot of discussion about this, but there was a recent $55 billion Illinois budget, and it passed without a stadium bill associated with it. So it leaves other options outside of the city of Chicago on the table. But the only options right now are Arlington Heights, which seems like it would be a perfect place to put the Bears, right? It's in the state, but there's some massive tax issues right now, and people aren't as on board with that idea as you think they might be. And then Hammond, Indiana, which just seems like a sort of a laughable joke, and it certainly would be if the Bears relocated. They'd become the second team to have a name or a state or city name in their title and not play in that city or state. The New York Giants and New York Jets play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Not sure how laughable that is out there, but the idea of the Bears playing in Indiana is certainly laughable to Packers fans. I don't know where this goes, but I can't imagine that anybody in Illinois, government, fans, the team, anybody outside of maybe the state of Indiana wants to see the Bears in Indiana. But it's still a possibility that could absolutely happen because there's not really a lot of other options.
Well, in the headlines, I'm looking at a headline that was just printed about an hour ago. This is in the Indianapolis Star. Indiana may still have a chance to recruit Chicago Bears Stadium.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Everybody's talking about it down there.
The state of Indiana with 2 professional sports franchises in the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts and the Bears? Somehow, it could happen. 1:56, 2 o'clock news is right around the corner.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Well, the lower level of our house, our basement, has become the heart of our home. It's where we hang out as a family. It's where we have birthday parties, gatherings with friends, holidays, when we host. Thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. Our lower level is much more than just a basement. It really is the spot to be. Matrix came to our house when we had ideas of doing our basement. We didn't know exactly what that meant. What do we want to put down here? We had some thoughts. Matrix came by with a free design consultation, and they put some beautiful thought into it, stuff we didn't really think about. And before you know it, we were going through the process of having plans drawn up. And then we were reviewing those plans at our kitchen table, and then making our finished selections, again, at our house, thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. They came to us, they had some ideas, we worked together, collaborated on the process, and in about 11 weeks, from first delivery through the final item on the punch list, we had a fully furnished basement. Unbelievable job by Matrix Basement Finishing. On time, they did exactly what they said they would do. The plans reflect the final product, and the people were wonderful to work with. Matrix Basement Finishing will do the same for you. No waiting, right? Book now and you'll enjoy no payments until 2028. Get on that project. You've been thinking about it for so long, right? We've got to adjust to our changing lifestyle. Kids are getting a little bit older. Maybe they're moving out of a house. It's all about evolution. Now it's time to evolve that lower level with Matrix Basement Finishing.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch. Let me tell you the story of Jack the Giant Slayer.
1-2 pitch, and he lines one into right, coming in is Churio, diving, did he make the catch? He sure did! Jackson Churio!
The Brewers clash with the Giants tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. This series is sponsored by the Hot House Tavern, Left's Lucky Town, and Revere's Wells Street Tavern. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, June 1st. Your top story, fighting continues as peace talks with Iran move forward.
I'm Jessica Ty. A new law to protect Wisconsinites from crypto scams.
A little bit of cloud coverage rolling in. A nice day today, a high of 78 degrees, a little cooler near the lake. Clear tonight, 51 your low. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 78 inland, 68 near Lake Michigan. 72 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 2 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, President Trump says critics should, quote, sit back and relax while he tries to negotiate a deal with Iran. Over the weekend, the U.S. and Iran exchanged strikes once again. News Nation's Vinay Simlat.
Iran continues to threaten ships that try to pass through the strait, creating a bottleneck at this international waterway. Economists say it's a key transit point for the world's energy market, leading to higher gas prices in the United States. Democrats say the war has made Iran stronger. But President Donald Trump says Iran wants to make a deal. He says Iran will have to agree to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and turn over its nuclear material, or the U.S. will resume military action.
The White House says oil could be flowing through the Strait of Hormuz in a month or two, but Iran says there's no deal.
On the first day of Pride Month, a federal appeals court in Washington has ruled against the Trump administration's ban on transgender people serving in the military. But the impact of that ruling will be limited. ABC's Stephen Portnoy explains.
The three-judge appeals court panel ruled 2-1 that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's policy is arbitrary and likely violates the constitutional rights of transgender service members. The court limited its ruling to the plaintiffs who sued and said it would not apply to those who hope to enlist. Trump-appointed Judge Justin Walker dissented, saying questions of military readiness should be left to commanders, not the courts.
The decision upholds a ruling from last year that found President Trump's executive order to exclude transgender troops from military service likely violates their constitutional rights.
The state-level criminal case against a former Sun Prairie West High School dean dismissed. Court records show prosecutors asked a judge today to drop the case against Robert Gilsey Meisegeier after his federal conviction over the same incident. He faced 15 felony charges for child enticement and possessing child pornography in connection to sexual contact with multiple students at Sun Prairie West High School. Gilsey Meisegeier is currently serving 18 years after pleading guilty to federal child exploitation.
The federal trial of a man accused of abducting a pregnant teenager from Beaver Dam is delayed again.
Gary Day was moved to the Greene County Detention Center in Arkansas on Thursday, where he was set to begin trial tomorrow. That trial is now rescheduled for August 4th, and a federal judge added an opportunity for Day to change his plea in July. The 40-year-old from Arkansas faces 6 federal charges related to having sex with a minor and child pornography after the disappearance of 16-year-old Sophia Franklin triggered a multi-state Amber Alert. Day also faces state charges in Wisconsin. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And a new Wisconsin law aims to protect consumers from cryptocurrency scams. It's now in effect. State officials say cryptocurrency kiosks have increasingly been used by scammers to convince victims to send money that's often impossible to recover. State Representative Patrick Snyder.
These things look like ATMs, but they take cash and turn it into cryptocurrency, into a wallet that can easily be moved around to other wallets.
The new law requires kiosks to display fraud warnings and limits transactions to $1,000 per day. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow spent the bulk of the day in the red. It's now 35 points in the green at 51,067. The Nasdaq up nearly 200 points at 21,160. And the S&P up about 35 at 7613. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
The Milwaukee Panthers are one win away from advancing to the Super Regional of the NCAA Men's Baseball Tournament. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time, isn't it, to update the look of your house, but you don't even know where to begin. First step, Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Yes, Tri-County's been in the roof business for 47 years, but Chuck, Tony, and the crew also handle siding. They've got design consultants that can help you. No exterior contractor will do what Tri-County Contracting can do for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's siding that'll make you love your home again.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers win 2 of 3 in Houston against the Astros and return home for Game 1 of a 4-game series against the Giants. Tonight, coverage gets underway at 6:05. What a month for Jacob Misiorowski, the Brewers starter, 5-0 with an ERA of .23.
I haven't looked at all the numbers and such, so I couldn't tell you exactly what I did. But it felt good. It felt like a pretty decent month.
Unbelievable month for Miz. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Panthers are a win away from advancing to the Super Regional of the NCAA Men's Baseball Tournament.
A little flare out into center field, but out goes the second baseman onto the grass. Bozak makes the catch. And for the first time in school history, Milwaukee is headed to the regional final.
This Milwaukee team is legit and have caught fire at the right time.
Audio courtesy of ESPN Plus. The Panthers beat Auburn and Central Florida in consecutive days. They'll take on Auburn again tonight at 5 o'clock. Winner advances. And the NBA Finals Best of 7 series begins Wednesday night in San Antonio with the Spurs taking on the Knicks.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are still dealing with this crash on the exit to 145 Fond du Lac Avenue from I-43 South. It is kind of hindered the view by the overpass there, but I can see what looks to be a semi peeking out right there. So looks to be a semi involved in this one, and I still see it out there. Traffic is moving along okay, though. Once again, that's a crash on the exit to 145 Fond du Lac Avenue from I-43 South. Also, the delays around American Family Field, especially headed out of the city on 94 westbound, are getting a little bit heavier than they were, and that's all due to construction.
Traffic is sponsored by Capri Communities. Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium. Visit EnjoyLifeSymposium.com. Live life to the fullest at Capri's Enjoy Life Symposium on Wednesday, June 10th. This free event for older adults includes speakers, exhibitors, activities, and more. Register today at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Nice day with a little bit of cloud coverage. In fact, it's kind of a little blanket of clouds here, but still some filtered sunshine. High of 78 degrees, cooler near the lake. Same for tomorrow, high 78, 68 near Lake Michigan. Overnight low tonight, 51. We do bump up a little bit into the low 80s on Wednesday, introducing rain in the forecast Thursday into Friday. 72 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
2:09 on WTMJ. 1 hour left in the program. We got Brewers baseball a little later tonight, beginning at 6:05. In between, Wisconsin's afternoon news.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, inside perspective of the hijack scare that prompted a plane to divert to Madison over the weekend. A 75-year-old passenger on a United flight from Chicago to Minneapolis tried to repeatedly breach the cockpit. Investigators now say that man was having what looks to be a mental health crisis. A local pilot who works with one of the country's major airlines tells Wisconsin's Midday News he was very surprised to hear the initial report was labeled a potential hijacker.
Standard language in layman's terms, that would define someone attempting to breach the cockpit. However, that is a very, very rapid escalation, really to the very top tier level that a situation like this could escalate. So unless we actually have someone taking over control or attempting to take control of the aircraft itself, that is a very dangerous and very powerful word to use that you will want to avoid at all costs unless that accurately describes the situation that you have at hand.
Coming up at 2:37, learn about the chain of command during emergencies, how much you as a passenger need to know when and if an emergency is happening, and this local pilot's concerns about real hijackers 25 years after 9/11.
Number 2, it's one of the biggest sporting events in the world, hosted this year in North America. Security officials ramping up in Los Angeles, preparing for the kickoff of the FIFA World Cup next week.
In what law enforcement here is calling one of the largest security operations in Los Angeles history, the focus is broad during World Cup events on things like drunk driving and fake tickets, but also on terrorism and the threat drones could pose. The FBI's Patrick Grandy says there will be teams looking for drones and forcing them down.
There will be a zero-tolerance policy that we have in effect. And we will be aggressively pursuing violators of those laws.
The sheriff here says he's been assured by the federal government there will be no immigration enforcement at FIFA events by ICE agents. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, a similar thing happening out of New York. They've invested about $6.5 million into drone mitigation efforts for a variety of big events that are happening out in the New York area. You think about the 250th and that celebration. 4th of July is coming up here. And, of course, the World Cup. They'll have matches out in that part of the country as well, really crisscrossing the United States and in North America. What do you do, right? These drones are sophisticated. Can you jam it? If you do, where does it land? If it somehow gets over the stadium and there's 80,000 people in the stadium, how do you safely bring that thing to the ground? Like, there's all sorts of training going into this. It's the world of security in 2026. It's not just what's on the ground, it's what's in the air.
Speaking of the 250th celebration, have we finalized who the heck is singing that thing?
Isn't Vanilla Ice involved?
Many people dropped out.
Been on TV a lot lately.
I didn't look for updates on that one over the weekend.
Okay. Well, did you come up with anything else? Vanilla Ice is the only one I think is confirmed that I know of. We'll keep you updated on it. It's 2:12 on WTMJ.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
I had a wonderful time on Saturday, and so did many others who attended the Hounds and Taps 5th year anniversary celebration. What a great time. Had great weather, live music, had a wonderful barbecue spread set up, beer tastings. It was really an incredible showcase of what this business has become. The go-to place for dogs and humans. You're going to have a lot of fun, too. Top-tier services for doggy daycare and boarding and grooming. All right there. That's right. Just need a nail trim. Easy peasy. The Hounds and Tap can do it. If you're looking for a full-on spa day to pamper your pup, you can do that as well. If you just want a place to hang out, watch a game, get something to drink, they've got a beautiful indoor-outdoor tavern. Get some food from a food truck. Let your dog kind of wander around the space. They've got expert trained handlers wandering the space at the Hounds and Tap, making sure the dogs are all getting along. That's what I experienced. It was a fantastic crowd over the weekend, just a beautiful celebration and a beautiful day. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menomonee Falls. Hey, don't worry about it. You want to get out of town this summer, don't let your dog be the reason you can't make it away for a long weekend. You can trust the folks at the Hounds and Tap just like we do. Knight loves it there, our 80-pound greyhound. We have no issue. We love it. He loves it. It's the Hounds and Tap, and it's in Menomonee Falls.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Now that the weather is becoming wonderful, let's think less work, more play. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited replace that deck, build the outdoor kitchen, add a covered structure. How about an automated pergola with automated screens? Let us build a space for you that you'll never have to paint. All you need to do is play, enjoy, live. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. The showroom is amazing, perfect to start your journey. Less work, more play, Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Well, dry weather continues here. High of 78 degrees today. Overnight low 51. Some clouds starting to roll in here. It's not like a bright sunny day, but it's a very comfortable day. Tomorrow, 78 inland, 68 near the lake, into the low 80s on Wednesday. Possibility for rain on Thursday and Friday. 73 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 216. Jessica, I'm not sure if this happens to you, but people outside of the radio business often ask me about our process. Like, how do you build a show? How do you know who you're going to talk to about what? And it's not easy. There's a lot that goes into it. But every night, our news partners at ABC send out a list of stories being covered by their list of talented correspondents. A little write-up that explains what the story is all about. And oftentimes I read that write-up or write-ups to my wife, and she becomes the arbiter of who we sometimes book.
Or we immediately say we want Jim.
Yes. Well, in this case, what raised her eyebrows was this write-up. The United States is in a bare-knuckled, no-holds-barred brawl with zebra mussels, marrows, honeysuckle, and 15,000 other plants, animals, and fungi found on the U.S. Register of Introduced and Invasive Species. And then there's a blurb about this environmentalists who have launched a nationwide contest to find a way to halt the spread of one particular creature. What is that creature? My wife asked me, and I said, I don't know. But I know who does. And it's ABC's Jim Ryan. Hi, Jim. Walk us through this. Make some sense of it.
Mussels. Yeah, mussels. Golden mussel, the zebra mussel. There are different mussels out there that have been introduced to the American lakes and ponds and waterways, and troublingly, some of the public water supply systems, not because they're dangerous to drink or to eat or something like that, but because they jam up the machinery that keeps our water systems working. So, yeah, it's a problem here. You have your share in Wisconsin as well. Wild parsnip, garlic mustard, which both sound kind of cool. The zebra mussels are a problem there, and jumping worms. Those are all some of these invasive species that you'll find in Wisconsin.
So, Jim, tell us about this contest, because I know some people just heard, wait, contest? Who can enter, and what kind of solution are organizers hoping someone comes up with here?
And it's from an interesting source, Jessica. It's the Bureau of Reclamation, which is a division of the Department of Interior. And so maybe there are 100 people that are working on this problem of the mussels, the zebra mussel, the various mussels that are causing so much trouble. So somebody there said, you know what, let's go ahead and just throw this open to maybe 330 million people and see what they can come up with. So $550,000 prize challenge to solicit help in eliminating these mussels from the American landscape and waterways.
Is there like a cash prize for this? Like, well, how do they do this? What's the contest element?
This is run again by the Bureau of Reclamation and through a private company, but they're under contract with the Bureau of Reclamation. It's called Halt the Hitchhiker, which sort of hints, Greg, at I think the theory as to how these things move around. They hitchhike on the bottom of boats, recreational boats, and in the ballast water of boats. And so they go from one lake, and then you take your boat to a different lake, and whatever was on the bottom of the boat goes with you and then infiltrates and invades this new property. So Halt the Hitchhiker is the name of the company. It's a 3-phase prize challenge for innovative solutions to eliminate the risk of aquatic invasive species, specifically these mussels.
So, Jim, I'm thinking about this summer here. What should boaters and campers and hikers possibly be doing differently because of this?
Hygiene. That's the thing. You know, if you're camping hygiene, boating hygiene, I think a lot of places, I'm sure in Wisconsin as well, have rules in place that require boaters to clean the bottoms of their boats, do a scrubbing. Many of them will be inspected, clean out the ballast water so that you're not taking problems to the next lake that you visit. So that's one way. And certainly campers need to be watching, what they're taking with them on the bottoms of their boots or in their tools and in the stuff that they brought in. So, yeah, it's just a matter of being vigilant.
Jim, I would not say that I'm well-versed in the reproductive habits of zebra mussels, but I do know this. Okay. I never see just one on a boat. I see 100 or 200, and then there's 200 more on the other boat. It seems like when you see one, you see a bunch.
And here's why. At the Kern County Executives meeting this past week, there was an expert there in mussels and the golden mussel that's taken over so much of what's happening out there. In December of 2024, they tested the water. They found no presence of zebra mussels or of this golden mussel. 1 year later, the place was full of them. The females, the zebra mussels, lay about 1 million eggs a year. And if all those are born, then you can see how this explodes into a problem that can literally jam up a water system.
So these zebra mussels, obviously a problem. I've seen signs about it at our lakes, just warning boaters as well. Are there concerns, though, Jim, that efforts to eliminate invasive species could unintentionally harm native wildlife?
Yeah, it's always a threat, and it's you're creating a new problem that you were trying to eliminate. So the golden mussel, the zebra mussel, the quagga mussel, they tend to muscle out other species in the environment in which they've been introduced to. And so, sure, you're going in and bringing. I know in Nevada, they needed to try to get rid of these zebra mussels, so they brought in a specific kind of pike, right, a northern pike fish, put it into the lakes, and it ate up the zebra mussels. Great. But then the pikes became a problem and started eating the stuff that other fish native to Nevada were trying to rely on. So, yeah, that's always kind of the unintended consequence, potentially, of doing something like this.
Well, the calendar is flipped to June. Boating season officially underway here in the state of Wisconsin. Halt the hitchhiker, everybody. Be safe on those waterways. We appreciate it. ABC's Jim Ryan joining us from Texas. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. See you guys.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Well, thanks so much to the team at Inspired Closets for doing an overhaul. Quite a transformation of our master closet. We're about 3 months in. It is still as clean as it was the day of installation. That was not the case before Inspired Closets Milwaukee. It was a source of frustration. It was cluttery. I didn't like it. We'd move stuff around thinking that we were cleaning it, but that really wasn't the case. Our builder-grade racking was kind of falling apart. We had clunky dressers in there and shoes sort of on display. It was just not a very welcoming environment. It was a source of stress for me. Until Inspired Closets Milwaukee came up with a beautiful design, and now we're living it, a complete transformation of our space. If you need some sort of organizational touch in your life, think about the space in your house. Now think about school ending and kids coming in and out of the house. Is there a place for their stuff, or you got flip-flops lying all over the place, golf bags falling around in the garage? You know what I'm talking about here. Let Inspired Closets Milwaukee go to work for you. Incredible people, incredible design capabilities, and they stand by their word with incredible installation. Inspired Closets Milwaukee is a wife and husband team. Katie and Dan came to the rescue for us. They will do the same for you. Great people connect to this local business, inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Accunet's president and chief metaphor officer. What do you have for us this time?
Dad, for a lot of sellers, selling their home is like handing over a family photo album. Every room in that house has a birthday memory or a trombone lesson or that last Mother's Day brunch before the kids moved out. The seller isn't just transferring a deed, they're saying farewell to a chapter of their life.
So buyers need to walk through the front door with that in mind.
Absolutely. It's not just a financial transaction. It's a transfer of trust. Sellers and their agents are looking to say yes to the buyer who is strong enough and safe enough to make good on their offer.
So what does that look like in practice?
It looks like a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a thoughtfully crafted offer that tells the seller, I will show up.
Because when the seller is deciding who will get the keys and the metaphorical family photo album,
you want them to feel the best about handing them to you.
Get started with your rock-solid pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com.
2:24 in WTMJ. Brewers baseball a little later tonight, beginning a 4-game series against the San Francisco Giants as we flip the calendar to June. Wisconsin's afternoon news coming up in just a couple of moments. We are in the month of June here, so my kids are counting down the time until school actually comes to an end. And here's what I figured out as parents. Is it easier or harder? People always ask when your girls are in school versus when not. I don't know the answer to that question, but I feel like school gets them on a routine. I know when they need to be up, when they need to be on a bus, when they get off the bus, and where I need to be throughout the process of their day when they're finishing it and starting it. Now they've got the camps that begin, and
So
they do a camp, which they love, and it tires them out. They come back tan, kind of warm, exhausted, and they want a cool bath and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, there's plenty of activities with the sports they play and stuff like that. But this can be a real source of stress. As kids are getting to the end of the line with school, parents start to feel it. like, oh boy, how do we make Monday through Friday happen when our wonderful school teachers in our district were making things happen for them, leading them on their educational journey? This has become a real interesting phase in their lives because they're 9 and 11. When they were 4 and 2, you just need good care for them and, good activity and get outside a little bit, do some crafts. And now their interests are evolving, and getting them from point A to point B in a day can be very stressful for parents. A lot of studies on this showing that anxiety for parents ramps up in June.
Well, it's hard when parents are feeling that anxiety at this time of the year, because then you have that middle time as well where I feel like it's a little bit better, but then at the end comes a little anxiety too, because it's like, well, the kids have been home all summer and now we're kind of ready for them to go back to school. So it's a little unfortunate that we're kind of bookending the summers for parents with anxiety.
Well, that's kind of what it is, right? Back to school shopping starts in, July around here. It's kind of what it feels like. But there's also the discussion of what should you have your kids do? How much is too much when it comes to real academic or school type work, reading, math? They always talk about the summer slide. So those test scores that you had maybe toward the end of your 4th grade year or 5th grade year in math, well, you're in a groove. You're doing it every day. And then you don't do much with it for 2.5 months, and you come back and you're like, well, wait a minute. How do I cross divide and multiply fractions? Which my daughter's working on, and I want no part of it. So clearly, I've had my summer slide.
Isn't there an app for that?
No, there's probably an app for that.
Like, dear parents,
I certainly hope there
please
is.
Download this app, and you can help your kids with math.
Yeah, I certainly hope there is. So as your kids ramp up excitement for the summer months, parents, we'll get through it.
You still have a TI-85 calculator, don't you? That's got to help.
Got to blow the dust off.
Or was it a
TI
TI-82?
I think I had an 85, and it was $70, and I thought that was very expensive for a calculator in 1990.
Yeah, put some new batteries in it and power that baby up.
2:27 on WTMJ. Hop into our program, quite literally. Watch us on YouTube. Wisconsin's Midday News is on YouTube. You can be in our studios with us each and every day watching as we do our radio show. News coming up.
How do you know if you're truly ready to retire? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. Many people focus on just one number, how much they've saved. But retirement readiness is about much more than a balance in your accounts. It's about having a clear plan for income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and how your money will support the lifestyle you want. Without that coordination, even a large nest egg can run into problems over time. At Drake & Associates, we help families create retirement plans designed to answer the big question, will your income last? Are you taking too much risk? And are there opportunities to reduce taxes along the way? To help you start thinking through those questions, I've created a complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 practical guides covering investments, taxes, and retirement income strategies. Call 414-897-9522 or text the word READY to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text READY to 414-897-9522. Because retirement isn't just about saving enough, it's about having a plan.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Coming up on 2:30 on Wisconsin's Midday News, it's Monday, June 1st. I'm Greg Matzik. Your top story, a gas station shooter is not competent to stand trial.
I'm Jessica Ty. Buckle up when riding that ATV.
Nice stretch of weather continues today with a high of 78 degrees. Overnight low 51, little cooler near the lake until we get to the evening hours. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 78 inland, 68 near Lake Michigan. Wednesday, a little bump here. Sunny conditions expected with a high of 83 degrees. Again, a little cooler near the lake, about 10 degrees difference, high of 75.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. After Iran state media signaled talks were off between the U.S. and Iran due to ongoing Israeli strikes in Lebanon, President Trump says he made separate calls to Israel's prime minister and Hezbollah mediators, and that says both sides have agreed not to attack the other. Iran still keeping a stranglehold on the Strait of Hormuz. Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says that's sent trading oil prices up today. Americans could see prices at the pump go even higher.
The national average we still anticipate could be $4.80 a gallon over the course of the summer. So while we've gotten a little bit of a 2-week break from high prices, we could go right back up. And it's still not impossible that later this summer, even ahead of July 4, that we could see the national average pressing $5 a gallon.
Health officials say they're working to trace Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, more than 1,000 suspected cases. But the WHO says there are no confirmed cases outside Central Africa. And severe storms are targeting parts of the South and Plains today. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:31. The man accused of shooting at a soda delivery driver at a Greenfield Speedway is found incompetent to stand trial.
But that might not be a get-out-of-jail-free card for Anthony Martinez. A judge said he is likely to become competent with treatment, so the case is only suspended. Investigators say it all began at one of the Coca-Cola delivery driver's stops on Howard Avenue when he noticed Martinez follow him to the gas station on 60th. Martinez allegedly drove against traffic, pulled into the gas station and displayed a gun, then fired shots as the delivery driver tried to flee. The court will review another doctor's report for competency in August. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Several new laws take effect today that impact ATV and UTV riders here in Wisconsin.
Among the biggest changes, everyone riding in a UTV must now wear a seatbelt. The Department of Natural Resources says riders can no longer tow people behind ATVs or UTVs on designated trails and routes, and new window tint restrictions now apply to UTVs. Officials also warning that intentionally damaging property could lead to stricter penalties. The DNR encouraging riders to review the new rules before heading out this summer. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court will hear a challenge to the state's congressional district maps. The High Court agrees to review whether a lower court properly dismissed a lawsuit that argues Wisconsin's current congressional boundaries create an anti-competitive gerrymander. The lawsuit seeks new maps to replace the current ones, which have produced a Republican advantage in the state's congressional delegation. The justices declined a request to fast-track the case in time for the 2028 elections.
A warning today about missing pet scams.
Limit how much specific information about the animal they include in any pet, and then search for any pet search services online with terms like scam and complaint to determine if they're legitimate.
That's Michelle Reinen with Wisconsin's DATCAP. She says pet owners should ask for proof before sending money and verify anyone claiming to have found the pet.
And Milwaukee is celebrating Wisconsin Bike Week with a ride through downtown. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson leading cyclists on a 3-mile route highlighting recent bike infrastructure and traffic calming projects.
And Bubbler's in the process of a major system upgrade. Going to add 800 e-bikes to the fleet and 965 new docks, giving riders more options and connecting more Milwaukeeans to convenient, healthy, sustainable way to get all around our city.
Wisconsin Bike Week runs through Sunday, June 7th.
Nice day for a bike ride. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Hey, just think about how much your father means to you, or maybe your grandpa. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Father's Day is almost here. Show your love and appreciation. Treat your dad to the all-you-care-to-eat Father's Day buffet at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. It's all your dad's favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including prime rib and homemade desserts. And kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Relax with an old-fashioned, maybe a Bloody Mary, a mimosa. Choose from 120 wines, 8 beautiful dining rooms. Your dad will love that patio in the woods. If Father's Day doesn't work, how about taking your dad to the Fox and Hounds tonight? Buy one dinner, get one free. The Fox and Hounds is hugged by the Kettle Moraine Forest. The summer drive, the views are spectacular. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Reserve your Father's Day all-you-care-to-eat buffet today. It's far less than what you'll pay anywhere else. Google, call, enjoy a free dinner tonight. Serving from 4 p.m. It's the Fox and Hounds Supper Club, the famous Fox and Hounds.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin.
to discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here!
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to Supper Club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Let me tell you the story of Jack the Giant Slayer.
1-2 pitch, and he lines one into right, coming in is Churio, diving, did he make the catch? He sure did! Jackson Churio!
The Brewers clash with the Giants tonight at American Family Field.
Jackson Churio with a dazzling play.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. This series is sponsored by the Hot House Tavern, Left's Lucky Town, and Revere's Wells Street Tavern. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers complete the month of May with a record of 19-7. Jacob Mizorowski with 5 of those wins, striking out 57 batters while walking only 6.
That was all off-season work, and guys in KC that have helped me a ton. Just with that stuff and getting the command of the zone and a lot better with every pitch. So it's been a huge help.
Brewers begin the day with a record of 35-21. Giants are in town for a 4-game series beginning tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Organized team activities resume for the Packers today. Head coach Matt LaFleur monitoring several key injuries, including to tight end Tucker Kraft, who has been seen at the facility working out back from an ACL injury.
Tuck looks great right now. You want him out there. He looks so good. You want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
And the Milwaukee Panthers baseball team faces Auburn tonight with a trip to the Super Regionals of the NCAA tournament on the line. Game is scheduled to begin at 5 o'clock. The Browns are finalizing a trade of Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a new crash. Heads up here. I-43 North at Hampton Avenue West. Right shoulder is blocked. Due to that new crash, traffic is moving along okay there. However, one spot where it's not, traffic definitely moving slower and slower around a crash that we reported earlier. That one at I-43 South at 94 West. Left shoulder is blocked due to that crash. And the backups, they start a little bit before North Avenue. And actually, as I take a peek here, it looks like it is a little stop and go all the way starting at Locust Street, and then it's not going to clear up until you get to Canal Street, and it's possible that those delays increase as the time goes on here. I also want to let you know there was one more incident just being reported as an incident right now. This one is down in Kenosha County. Let me take a peek here. 4194 South, very close to the ramp from County KR. Right lane is closed due to an incident. We also have a disabled vehicle on the exit to County KR from 4194 North. There is one camera in that area. I wanted to pull it up for you to see what is happening, to be able to tell you. Unfortunately, that camera, the stream, is not available. Hopefully that is not a bad crash. Every once in a while, they will cut the cameras, cut those streams, so you can't see it if it is a very bad crash. Not sure if that's the case yet, but we'll keep you updated.
High of 78 inland, 68 near the lake, overnight low 51. Tomorrow, very similar forecast. 78 inland, 68 near the lake. Wednesday's high 83. Again, cooler near the lake with a high of 75. Possibility for rain on Thursday and perhaps on Friday. Temperatures remain in the 80s. It's 73 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 239.
Imagine you're on a flight from Chicago to Minneapolis when you notice a commotion a few rows ahead. Flight attendants are moving quickly. People are looking around, trying to figure out what's happening. And before long, the plane is making an unexpected emergency landing in Madison. That's what happened Friday night when a United Airlines flight diverted after a 75-year-old passenger repeatedly attempted to reach the cockpit. Off-duty law enforcement officers on board helped restrain the man. The flight landed safely, and investigators now believe he was experiencing a mental health crisis. Incidents like this raise questions about what pilots and crew are trained to do when a passenger becomes a security concern, how secure cockpit doors are, and what happens behind the scenes when a flight suddenly diverts. A local pilot who works for one of the major airlines joins us here on Wisconsin's Midday News to provide insider perspective. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
An air traffic controller referred to this as a potential hijack.
It's actually a situation where we might have to close the airfield due to potential hijack.
That is incredibly serious. Were you surprised by that? Is that standard language anytime someone attempts to breach the cockpit?
I was surprised by that, very surprised. Standard language, in layman's terms, that would define someone attempting to breach the cockpit. However, that is a very, very rapid escalation, really to the very top tier level that a situation like this could escalate. So unless we actually have someone taking over control or attempting to take control of the aircraft itself, that is a very dangerous and very powerful word to use that you will want to avoid at all costs unless that accurately describes the situation that you have at hand.
So how does that information come to the pilots and the crew? How is that? What's the chain of command for letting you know there is something going on behind you, behind that closed and locked door, knowing that you've got passengers, you've got cabin crew members, and in this case, members of law enforcement handling it while you're flying a plane?
Exactly. Yeah, excellent question. So we do have a chain of command within the aircraft itself. At the very top, it's the captain at the upper echelon. And then from there, it drops down to the other flight deck crew members, first officer, or additional pilots if there's longer flights that have additional pilots. And then behind the cockpit door, we have the cabin crew. We have the flight attendants. And there's a rank order among them. Primarily, there's one that's in charge of the cabin, and information should be funneled through that individual, and any activities in the cabin should be coordinated through that individual to the flight deck. So there really is just one point of contact between what happens or what needs to be communicated from the cabin to what needs to be communicated to the cockpit. And that could be from anything as benign as, hey, we're at an hour out from landing. I like to go use the lavatory. Could you set up a situation for me to go back? Or, hey, do you mind handing me a sandwich to eat? Versus a more serious issue such as a potential security issue going on in the back. And then to follow up on that, if we have any additional assets on the airplane, such as law enforcement officers that may be traveling on board or other crew members from other airlines or even just other individuals that may be an asset in the event of some abnormal situation. It could be a security issue. It could be just an emergency with the airplane. Do we have a large, strong individual that can help with opening an exit door if we need to open an exit door? Do we have people that may speak a foreign language? We have a large population of foreign language personnel or passengers on the plane that may not be English speakers. Do we have someone that can help translate that information? Those are all potential assets that we may have available to us if we need to when a situation arises.
How often, and I know it probably depends on the airline and the flight and where you're headed, but how often are law enforcement officers actually positioned on planes? And in this case, there were law enforcement officers who just happened to be law enforcement officers who weren't positioned there but off duty. How often might you be sitting by somebody who's meant to be there for protection?
In my understanding of this particular situation is that it was off-duty personnel. That may or may not be accurate. That's just kind of what I'm hearing. In terms of how often it occurs, I think part of the beauty of keeping our national air transportation system safe, especially in the post-9/11 environment, is that there's an element of randomness to that where there really isn't a way in advance to know whether you're going to have any law enforcement personnel, any assets that are pre-positioned on a flight, whether they are on duty or off duty ahead of time. There's times personally where I've encountered that and personally that I haven't, and really there's not any pattern that can be associated with that as well.
Were you surprised that this plane diverted to Madison?
I was surprised. Granted, I'm not there as part of the decision-making process to reach that conclusion that particular flight crew, their airline, the other personnel involved, whatever discussions they had to reach that conclusion. But you're going from O'Hare to Minneapolis. It's not a very distant city pair. The airline involved happens to have a very, very large base and their headquarters in the Chicago area and at O'Hare Airport. So they have a lot of resources available to them at O'Hare. If they need to land the airplane, reaccommodate passengers, find a new crew, all that contingency is available to them at O'Hare. It's not available at Madison. If you're going to divert at a place that's not a scheduled stop along your route or your scheduled destination, you're going to need a pretty good reason. You're going to need a serious medical issue. You got some serious mechanical issue going on that requires you to land immediately, or you got a security threat that has escalated to the point where the airplane needs to get on the ground because it's going to be safer on the ground than it will be in the air. To get to the point about was I surprised, I was, because that indicates that this is to get from Madison to O'Hare is not, in terms of air miles, is not very far. It doesn't take a long time to fly an airplane between the two cities, especially if you have some sort of an emergency where you could just go straight to the airport and not follow a predetermined path that may not be the most optimal way to get there. So for this flight to land at Madison tells me that there was a serious situation going on where the crew, the other parties involved in decision-making decided that this thing needs to get on the ground as soon as possible.
So you got options, right? You can turn around, go back to O'Hare. I don't know if Midway was an option. Minneapolis probably, 40 minutes away, maybe from Madison, roughly. So you talk about that decision-making process. In the aftermath, when you look at this, do you find yourself maybe even more surprised that they landed at Madison, just understanding what this individual maybe was going through, the fact that there was law enforcement that had seemingly calmed the situation on the flight?
I do. I mean, not being part of that scenario, it's tough to kind of second guess. You have to make a decision, for lack of a better term, in the heat of the battle. And whether that was the best decision at that time, we learn after the fact as we debrief the situation, the facts surrounding it, whether that was the best course of action that we could have taken. But to the point, what options do we have available on the flight? You mentioned going back to O'Hare, continuing on to Minneapolis, landing in Madison. Madison's not a huge city, but it is our state capital. There is a large population center that's very close to the airport. If we truly had a situation where control of this aircraft was in question, in doubt, if a hijacking was in process or about to occur in the judgment of the crew in that airplane, this thing is no longer a passenger aircraft that is transiting airspace in the United States. It's now basically a weapon that's in the air, and that needs to be eliminated or mitigated. This aircraft needs to get out of the air. It needs to land. Law enforcement needs to be able to take control of that aircraft if that's what's happening. And where do you go? Ironically, in Madison, we have the 115th, the Air National Guard 115th Fighter Wing is there with a bunch of F-35 fighters. Just north of Madison, there's a military field, a guard base, large runway, not a large population area around there. So if there was any question about who's in control of the airplane, which it seems like that was never in question, but based on the air traffic control tape that we've heard, the H word, the hijack word, was used, a very dangerous word. I would have thought that maybe this thing would have landed somewhere that was a more secure environment on the ground, such as the National Guard base just north of Madison. But again, Monday morning quarterbacking, quite literally, it's difficult to come to that judgment after the fact without knowing all the other details involved.
So we have heard the audio from air traffic control. Air traffic controllers use the term potential hijacker. Would it be different if you heard that term directly from the pilot?
I certainly think it would be different. And in all reality, it probably should not be different. It definitely would be different because if there's a hijacking that occurs of an aircraft, that aircraft is no longer under the control of the flight crew. It is now an unknown. It is a potential weapon of mass destruction that's in the air over the United States. And the procedure that is involved with that is that aircraft needs to be intercepted. Not meaning you shoot it down, but essentially what happens is some fighter aircraft will be deployed, they'll make visual contact with the aircraft, and they'll issue instructions to try to validate who is actually in control of that airplane and guide it potentially to a safe landing somewhere, or if it's a threat that can't be mitigated in the air, then the very last resort then is to eliminate that threat by any means necessary.
So how do you decide what information you're going to share with passengers who might be in the back? They see something happening up in the front. What is happening? And all of a sudden there's an announcement we're landing in Madison. What duty is it of the pilot to inform passengers on a large aircraft what's happening in a smaller component of that aircraft?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it depends. It's very situationally dependent. If we have a mechanical issue going on with the plane, or if we have an issue where a passenger is sick and they need to go to the hospital immediately, some of those details may or may not be obvious to the crew, to the passengers, depending on what's going on. Generally, what we try to do is to convey enough information to alleviate any unnecessary cause for concern that may be happening in the cabin. Try to keep people calm and in the loop. And people, passengers and myself included, we appreciate getting told the truth of what's going on. We don't want to be told a tall tale and kind of kept in the dark. But in situations like this, where you have a potential security threat, you don't know who else is on board, whether they're a friend or foe. There really is not going to be, if it were me, there's not going to be any other information other than what you just said, Greg, which is just we're landing and we'll have more information for you on the ground. Follow the instructions of the flight attendants and just leave it at that. Cause
do you have to encourage them that you're safe, it's okay, we're handling it? Like, that concern, I think if I'm a passenger, I don't know what's going on. We're going to Madison? Why are we going to Madison? What's happening up there? Is there a duty of the pilot to communicate that you're safe, we're okay, everything is under control?
Yes, to the extent that it maintains order and keeps a calm environment in the cabin, yes. And as long as I or whoever the pilot is is truly in command and in control of the airplane and of the situation, it is safe because we're the ones that are still calling the shots, directing the course of action of what's going to be occurring, kind of facilitating all the tangential elements that need to occur to bring this flight to a safe conclusion. But yes, to convey to people in the back that the situation, whatever the situation is under control, is safe, and we're here to take care of you. Just give us, have some patience to allow us to make that happen.
Security tightened after 9/11. 25 years later, do you have concerns about airport security today and potential hijackers?
I think we're safer today than we were pre-9/11. We've learned how the nature of the threat has changed, and we've changed our means of mitigating those threats. However, instances like what just happened in Madison raises a lot of questions in my mind. Whether the pilots had said something to the effect of, we are either about to be or we are being hijacked, someone made the conclusion that that was what was happening with that airplane, whether it was air traffic controller or whoever it was. And once that word is used, this has been escalated to a point where there's no going back. The cat's out of the bag. There's very specific steps and processes that need to occur when something like this either happens or when it's suspected to happen. So some of the questions I have here is, why was this word even used on the radio if it didn't come from the flight deck of that aircraft? Who made that conclusion? And then beyond that, once that conclusion was made, what processes were followed to mitigate that threat once it was identified as a threat? Did an air-to-air intercept occur? Were there fighter jets that took off from Madison or from some other place to intercept the aircraft, assess what was going on, escort this plane to a safe place to land, whether that's Madison, whether it's Chicago, whether it's a military field, whether it's at the NORAD base in Omaha, Nebraska, whatever it is, what is the safest place to move this thing that is no longer a passenger aircraft and now a potential weapon in the air to a safe area? And then what do you do with this aircraft once it's on the ground? Do we want the Dane County Sheriff Department to be the one that would potentially intervene on the ground? Granted, we had some law enforcement assets on board that aircraft, but we don't truly know what exactly is going on in that aircraft. Again, the word hijack is used, so you have to just assume the worst. Specific processes are in place to address that situation. There's a chain of events that need to occur thereafter, and I don't really see any of that taking place. So what I'm concerned about is that 25 years later, after what happened on 9/11, a terrible day, and United Airlines lost 2 airplanes that day too. They're very, very well with their procedures of what occurred and what they need to do to mitigate that. We don't want to get into complacency here to expose ourselves to another event such as this in the future.
Insider perspective from a local pilot who works with one of the major airlines. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Hey, remember when your basement was just for storage? WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. With Matrix Basement Finishing, they turn that empty space into the heart of your home. It's what they did for us. Whether it's a cozy family movie night or cheering on your favorite team during the best time of the year to watch sports. From the design consultation to picking out your perfect flooring and fixtures, the process is seamless and done at your home. Get the quality craftsmanship you deserve with no payments until 2028. And visit matrixbasements.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor. And all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Wrapping up on Monday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Almost took us to Wednesday there, and that would be nice, right? Well, we'll have Brewers baseball later this evening on WTMJ. Enjoy the rest of the day. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about